All right. Oh man.
Take the camera lens off.
Take
the camera.
What is? You don't know how to edit, so you know recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. You know what? Editing is hard.
Especially when you don't do it.
Well, it's not editing. It's not that I don't do it. It's just that it's a lot more difficult than it seems.
You don't edit.
Right. I tried. We tried editing.
You just said it's not like I don't do it.
Well, I tried editing. It's impossible. I don't know what's good and what's bad.
Oh,
I mean,
in that regard.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have no idea what to get rid of.
It's true. You have no taste.
Yeah. You know what? That's not funny. No one thinks that's funny. You know what? Our guest doesn't think that's funny. She
just edit it out.
No, she expected.
Smart ass.
I can't. I don't know how. Yeah, she expected this to be a comedy show, and now she just thinks you're being mean. She's just straight up. Yeah, that's exactly what she thinks.
She gets me. She's from Vegas.
Is that?
She knows. Hey, listen. She's friends with Gene Simmons. She knows what I'm doing right here.
If you must know, I just went to close the door, so you guys could have done anything. I would have missed it all.
Oh, damn it. We rarely get that opportunity with guests. All right, so I'll start this thing up, and let's do this. Hey, everybody. My name is Matt, and this is the Real Three Idiots podcast. With me, as always, is a man whose name strikes fear in the heart of waitresses around the world, Teddy.
Spring is in the air. And it's good to be back.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because
back from what?
Yesterday, well, not back from anything. That's the gag. See, I was never gone. But spring is in the air because yesterday is the first day of spring.
Was it?
And now it's the second day of spring.
March
20th is the first day of spring.
Tomorrow will be
the third day.
The third day of spring.
Third day of spring.
We're not going to do like the fourth day of Christmas or nothing like that because then we get a little cumbersome after.
Ted hibernates. That's what he's talking about.
Does he really?
Mentally hibernates.
I was going to say mentally. Physically, he just continues to drink. But
so to him, it's like, hey, what's going on?
Okay, I like it. And a man who is playing hurt right now, but is getting better because we played golf yesterday. Mark,
my feelings are hurt. I feel good physically, but Matt's brutal on the fucking course. You are brutal.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what. Ted played great.
Thanks, Mark.
Nice.
Thanks,
Played
Mark.
great. Ted actually beat Matt.
No.
I'll finish what I'm saying.
Thank you.
No,
He's
actually, don't finish it.
Ted is heavily handicapped in their competition.
Okay.
He is. We're talking about golf, just so you know, Christina. But Ted is heavily handicapped in many aspects of his life.
Because Matt's a much better golfer, so Matt gives him.
Let's not celebrate it, okay?
Strokes. So Ted.
Good to know.
Ted beat. Yeah. We should clarify that. You're right.
Yeah.
Ted's playing very well. He's beating Matt, and we're on like the 15th hole, 14th hole, and Matt says, "Man, Ted's actually beating me," and I go, "Yeah, Ted's playing really good." He's like, "I'm playing like shit. I am playing horrible." So it wasn't that he was playing good; it was that Matt was playing bad. And Ted just put his.
How about
there's no style
but just
points.
but we want reality. I don't want Ted accidentally thinking that he's good. I don't want
played
Ted
good. You had 3 pars yesterday.
Did I?
out of 18 holes.
I washed my scorecard in my I left the scorecard in my pants and I put the pants in the washing machine and it disintegrated, so I never saw any of it. But I'll take your word for it.
Halfway through, after 9, just let the scorecard kind of fly away.
It was like a 30-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, he was acting like it was an accident.
Interesting.
Okay, you know what? We have a guest waiting. She's not interested in Ted getting lucky one day. Okay?
One day.
All right. And back with us for a second Smash Week is my sister, Jackie. Jackie, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
It is very awesome. Okay. And our special guest today, this is so cool. Our special guest today, and I'm going to see if I can go 3 weeks in a row 3 guests in a row getting the names correct. Christina Vitagliano?
That's close.
Oh, close is good. All right. How do you say your last name?
Vitaliano.
Like Italiano, except it's Vitaliano.
There's a G in there, though, right?
Silent.
It's a silent.
Yeah, but the G is an alphabetical waste.
So, you know what? So is my entire first and last name. It's just an alphabetical waste. Yeah, total waste of time. All right, Christina, thanks for coming on. Number one, and this is really cool because you do a really cool thing in the Rio Casino in Las Vegas. Why don't you do us a favor and tell us what are you in charge of at the Rio Casino? What things do you guys have there? Because this is really cool.
Well, we own a venue at the Rio called Kiss World, which is indoor blacklight Kiss, like the rock group, obviously, themed miniature golf. It's 18 holes of very, very cool Kiss mini golf. We play Kiss music. There's a DJ on the golf course. It's very interactive. There's arcade games. There's an event room. And as of about almost a year ago, we kind of were fortunate enough to have Gene say, "Hey, I want to put my entire collection at your place." So now we have Gene's office and or museums. We have an insane Kiss museum at our place, but everything belongs to Gene in there. It's insane. And we have a rock and roll wedding chapel.
That is so. So Gene Simmons, this is your museum is a 15,000 square foot like tribute to Kiss, right? I mean, it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
That's pretty big.
yeah. We got about 15,000 square feet that all of that stuff is housed under, with the exception of the wedding chapel, which we moved upstairs and has its own venue now because Gene kind of commandeered a lot of our space.
So I would imagine that you get like when Gene Simmons says he's going to give you stuff, you have to take everything. You have to build a space for his everything, right?
Yeah, it was a huge undertaking, and Gene was actually really good within the project because he took all of the cases that you saw. Most people have seen when they watch Family Jewels or anytime Gene's been interviewed anywhere over the years was mostly from his Kiss room in Beverly Hills at his house. So he wanted us to kind of replicate what everybody's been seeing, for the last 20 years or so. So everybody packed up all of his Kiss stuff, including his desk and everything. And then he took all of the showcases that were built into the walls in that house, made for that house, and moved those here too. So we had to take all those showcases and kind of get them to fit on the walls and retrofit everything and kind of start from scratch.
And he paid for it all.
No.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will say he was very, very fair. He was extremely fair.
He's a very smart businessman too.
Which I know sounds very rare for Gene, but he was really.
Yeah. No. I mean, but I can imagine. I mean, he's got all the showcases. I mean, he's really into himself, right? I mean, he really. I mean,
well, into Kiss.
Nobody loves Gene more than Gene.
Right.
I think that's
now,
very true.
Have you met all the guys from Kiss?
Oh yeah, we Patrick, my husband, and myself. After we opened the Kiss venue, gosh, we've been open for about 12 years now. I think our venue is 12 years old. Originally, it was across from the Hard Rock in Las Vegas. But when we signed our contract with Kiss, which took us about a year to negotiate back and forth, long before we opened the venue, once we signed the contract and handed over, the check for the license so you can legally, have a Kiss venue, that's when we met Paul and Gene. And then once we opened our venue, the whole band was there. Doc was there. It was crazy that day. But for whatever reason, I get along with Gene business wise. So over the years, we've done a lot together. But we handle all of his backstage meet and greets. So if you want to meet Gene Simmons backstage, he's got his own website, GeneSimmonsActs.com. But I handle all of that. So we've toured with them. We've been all over the place with them. Yeah.
Holy cow.
So is it, I mean, I would imagine if you're touring with them and they're doing that, do the people show up to the concerts like totally decked out in Kiss stuff? I mean, are they in full makeup and full garb all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Well, it's like a cult,
I mean, not everybody,
it's like
but
a cult
yeah.
following. It's like, remember the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show? To this day,
Yeah.
they still have people dressing up and
Remember,
let's
I mean,
do the time warp.
they didn't have
again.
social media.
Yeah.
They didn't have social media. But do you remember, like, they would say that they had pictures of one of the Kiss guys not in makeup? Like, it was a giant, right?
I think they did a concert without the makeup one time. I could be wrong, but yeah, that was a huge.
Yeah,
That was
and
a huge
everybody
deal.
left. That's why everybody just they walked out and it's like, my God, no.
I
That
remember
was like the
when
80s, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Well, their
yeah.
music videos are not in makeup. Their music videos.
Yes, they are.
No, the one I think one of their
Well, they
one of
had
their
a
videos
time
are
period where they were
Yeah.
not in makeup.
Yeah.
So, there's an album called Unmasked.
Yeah.
So Unmasked is literally, not in makeup. But there was a period in the 80s where they were not in makeup, and then they came back in the 90s in makeup.
Are they still
and have
touring?
been-
Are they still touring?
They are on. Yes, they have.
wow.
They're actually on their last tour, and the last show is at Madison Square Garden in December 1st and 2nd. Sold out in an eighth of a second.
Yeah.
But they're on. This is their 50th year.
No way.
Yeah, 50 years.
That and I saw an interview when Gene was opening this thing up about a year ago. So you guys opened up, I think, the Kiss Museum like in June, right, of last year, something like that. Yeah. And he said, it's typical Gene. He probably believes this. He goes, "We're the only band in the world that has a museum."
I know like the Rolling Stones or the Beatles.
Or the
they don't
Beatles,
have one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
Imagine the
there's a
Beatles
lot.
too.
There's actually lots of them.
Yeah.
There's lots of bands that have their own. But yeah,
Well, I mean, they're world famous.
No, I just
though.
love that
Yeah,
he's so into it that
that's-
he would
that's what
imagine.
makes him great, yeah.
That's his thing. That he just does that. Now you guys also have the Rock and Roll Chapel too, right?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
So you have the ministers and stuff. I saw that you guys had auditions for ministers, which I thought was awesome. Do they have to dress? I mean, they're not all like they don't all dress in Kiss, but they all dress like rock and roll guys, right?
Well, so when somebody wants to get married at the Rock and Roll Chapel, the first thing usually they'll email or they'll call us and say, "Look, I'm looking to get married on this date." If they're looking for a Kiss character, obviously, that's no problem. We've got about a dozen guys that work for us on that. But it doesn't matter who you ask for. We will make sure that person is your minister. So really, we have a ton of different. Like David Bowie has so many different versions of David Bowie. Well, it's Labyrinth, or just over the years he's just changed drastically. So we've got David Bowie. We do Meatloaf, Slash, Alice Cooper.
I just want to know what's the alcohol content of the people getting married there when they enter the chapel.
It's very.
It varies from.
That is the most entertaining. I don't know, 3,000 square feet.
Absolutely. We need a ring
You
doorbell.
never know
Need a ring
what's
doorbell
going
at
to
that
happen at
place.
a wedding.
So I've seen some of the pictures on the website. The people dress up also, right? Like you'll have people that will come dressed like their favorite character and then get married
like
by
Comic-Con or something, yeah.
And even their guests. So we've had weddings where a lot of people are renewing their vows, or a lot of people are they're getting married there. These people are fun people. They're not looking for your traditional wedding, obviously. So it's our place is looks like you're getting married on a rock and roll stage, but sometimes the whole wedding chapel is full of people in 80s gear. Like just the hair is like up to like Aquanet is back in. It's
I remember those days.
Members only jackets, Jordache jeans, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, parachute
exactly.
pants.
The way you're dressed right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted's being mean. All right, so how many people can you have getting a wedding?
We can handle about aside from the bride and the groom, about up to 50 or 60 guests in the chapel.
So that's good because that actually works out because Ted has a theory that the more people that go to your wedding, the more likely you are to be divorced. So I would imagine those weddings are a little bit smaller,
not
so
your-
all
yeah.
those people stay
Not
married
your,
forever.
Yeah, not your wedding per se, but I think there is a study that shows like people who have huge weddings, like say 100, 200 people, the likelihood for divorce allegedly in like 3 to 5 years is high. We're not suggesting they probably stay married forever.
That's
if you
what
get married there.
Wow, Ted. That's-
Sure.
That's what Matt's saying.
Because once you jump in the deep end of that pool,
The people who get married at our chapel it's a weird vibe in there. It's very touching. It's weird. You can look at all these people dressed up in these crazy costumes, but yet you're teary-eyed. It's very intimate. It's about them. It's not about all the guests. It's not about all the show. It's literally about the two people standing on that stage. And it's cool.
I guess what we're confusing here is because it's a chapel in Vegas, we're thinking like these two people met on the strip and they're getting married in their chapel. A lot of these weddings are very well planned out over months, right? This isn't just most of your weddings are planned months in advance, correct?
No, I would say 90% of them are planned, months in advance to years in advance, and then 10% of them are exactly what you think they are, and you just kind of bite your tongue and make it through the
we just met at the
Enjoy the show.
We met at the baccarat table and let's go.
So has Penn Jillette ever ministered a wedding there?
Excuse me?
Has Penn Jillette ever ministered a wedding there in the chapel? From Penn and Teller at the Real?
The magician, right? Penn and Teller, yeah.
Oh, has Penn? Yeah, somebody has requested Penn to be their
because I know he's a minister. He could do that.
So
yeah, he already is a minister too.
Yeah.
We've had people actually, and I'm not kidding. We've had people during their game of golf decide they want to get married, and we've married them.
Oh, that's
Ted.
awesome. That's awesome.
Hold on, Ted.
Those two things don't seem
Ted
to go
zero,
together. They don't seem to go together.
If I make this shot, you have to marry me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, I don't want, you know what? It's kind of scary that you said that because Ted looked at me in a very weird, very strange way. But yeah, but I will tell everyone this. I would never marry anyone of your golf caliber, Ted. I would have to, if I was going to marry a guy, he'd have to play better golf.
Your genetics would definitely be watered down.
Yeah. And he'd have to, he'd have to dress better because we'd have to share clothes. That'd be half the thing about marrying somebody of the same sex, right?
I bet you if we went to her golf course, Ted would beat you.
We actually had somebody that requested to have a monkey as their, I'm not even kidding, as their ring bearer. And I thought this was early on when we first opened the chapel and we first got to Vegas. And I thought, "Wow, okay, how am I going to find that?" And I've learned very quickly that in Vegas, you pretty much can find anything you want. So not only did I find a monkey
gosh.
that could walk, the rings down the aisle, he actually already owned his own tux. So
Wow.
I was like, "What's going
Wow.
on?"
There's a guy
And
in
it
the strip
happened.
that's his
Yep,
whole
somebody
business.
got married at the, by
Okay.
a Gene Simmons minister with a monkey walking their rings down the aisle. It was, yeah.
Okay, so
And that's not even the weirdest wedding.
so that's my question then. What is the weirdest to you? What is the weirdest thing? And you're doing this for 12 years. The weirdest thing you've ever seen?
I don't do a lot of the weddings. At the beginning, I used to witness a lot of the weddings. I don't anymore, but we've had some like people that were obviously on some serious hallucinogens, like really, really bad.
Some
And
benzos, some
come in and
benzos.
like, yeah, this girl walked down the aisle once with a toaster, and I'm not kidding, a toaster as her bouquet, and sticking out of the toaster was like Barbie's head, from the Barbie doll, her head, and her legs were burnt and things like that. And
Wow.
I couldn't even understand how they were conversing with each other. They were speaking English, but none of it made any sense to me. But yeah, we could go on forever. We've had nude weddings. Nobody,
Nice.
there are, yeah.
Oh man, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's never ending.
Okay. So who's the weirdest? Like the toughest person you had to find then to minister, like a lookalike. What was the hardest one?
Oh wow. Geez, that's a good question. I don't know. We've gotten
pick?
pretty much everything. Somebody recently wanted. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. That's my phone. I should not be doing that.
That's somebody
Sorry
wants to
about
get married. I understand. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The Gene phone rings through to my laptop, so I don't miss any phone calls. It's all fans though. I don't know who the. We get a lot of versions of Elvis. We get Fat Elvis, Skinny Elvis, 70s Elvis,
Elvis
80
has to be
Elvis.
obvious,
A
yeah.
lot of weird things like that.
Oh man, I saw that movie. That I can't. It's so sad to me. Yeah, I would just want living
Yeah,
Elvis. I
really
want
was
living
sad.
sober Elvis. That's all I would want. I'd
Young-
be like,
young
yeah,
Elvis,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want young, happy Elvis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys obviously have like like a second floor? Your third floor has to be the next day divorces, right? For those 10% that are just like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
man,
Like Pamela Anderson.
yeah, like I can't. I wanted a ring bearer monkey, not a wedding monkey. Yeah, I gotta get this monkey out of here.
The attorney's just up there ready for papers to be signed.
Oh man,
We had somebody. This couple was very, very nice, and it was during. There's a the AVN convention. You guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
It's the adult entertainment convention that comes through Vegas once a year.
wow.
So Vegas is a little weird where depending on what the biggest convention is in town depends on the town kind of turns into that. You're kind of stuck with it for all you because everybody's running around looking like there's a cowboy Christmas. So for 6 weeks a year, it's rodeo that's in. So there's cowboys everywhere. But AVN is the adult entertainment industry. So it's definitely entertaining to watch, So we had a couple come in that was in the industry and they had a shotgun wedding. And we were like, okay, well, they had a theme called that was a shotgun wedding. She came in a wedding dress carrying a shotgun, about 8 months pregnant. Everybody had guns, like fake guns, but everybody had guns and they were all doing these crazy things. Most of the girls weren't wearing much of anything. The wedding was a blast. And I think that wedding was in the first year we opened. And we still see them on social media. They're still married. Their son is 12 years old. And they are
Makes
probably
sense.
two of the most normal people on the planet.
You know what? That's got to be tough because if you've got a 12-year-old,
He's a
people
porn
wanna
watching
see,
age.
No, but people want to see pictures of your wedding, and now you're showing them this insanity
Yeah.
of
Those
mostly
aren't the pictures
naked.
people are showing him. Believe me,
That would be
his mom was a porn
But
star.
the wedding was off the charts crazy. But it's weird. It's they lead a very normal life right now.
wow. That is super bizarre. All right, so do you guys have anything coming up, like any big celebrations or anything coming up at the casino? And that's the Rio Casino in Las Vegas. You guys got any big things coming up, going on that you want to mention?
Well, we do. I'm coming up on May 5th, 6th, 7th weekend. Gene is actually hosting an event. So it's called An Evening with Gene Simmons, but in typical Gene fashion, he's turned it into a weekend with Gene. So we have a 3-day event, but it's a ticketed event and it's separate from the mini golf venue because we've actually rented like one of the convention rooms. So on Saturday, everybody who bought tickets for this will be able to come in. Gene will get on stage and he'll talk about some of the items he's collected over the years. His Kiss career. People can ask questions and things like that. Then he has a Gene Simmons band. The band will play for a while. And then after that, all of the people that are watching this, that have paid for this, will actually meet Gene one-on-one. And Gene's going to hand them probably a dozen items from his collection, his personal collection. So, yeah, he has so much stuff that we have it in warehouses now. He's been collecting, I think, since he was born. And now he's decided it's time to hand it over to the fans.
No,
How many people would be at an event like that?
We will max out. Well, and then actually on Sunday, he's rented out the Voodoo Steakhouse and he's taking everybody to dinner. So they all go to dinner up there. He'll actually go, I'm not even kidding, he'll go from table to table and he sits down with every single person and he'll chat with them for a while. We take photos. It's a very crazy event. Total people in the event, maybe a couple of hundred, but it's spread over 3 days. So we'll do 50, 50, and 50 each day and he meets them one-on-one. It's not group meetings. It's, you and your guests get to meet Gene.
Is it sold out?
Yeah.
Huh?
Is it sold out?
It is. Friday's not sold out. Saturday is sold out, and he just added the Friday. So Friday people, we've got maybe half dozen tickets left.
It's got to be like $1,000, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
No, much more than that.
Oh, way more. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay. Hit us with the magic number because what would it cost?
$5,000. It includes 2 people, but $5,000. Yeah.
Holy
The dinner
crap!
alone. I mean, he's buying the dinner. He doesn't get that free. The dinner alone is costing about close to $250 a head. It's a nice Vegas dinner. We rented the place out privately. If you ever been to the top of the Rio, you're at the steakhouse. You're overlooking the entire strip. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I saw that picture. That looks so awesome up there.
Yeah.
Wow, 5 Gs. You know what? I don't love any band enough to spend 5 Gs to hang out with them and just listen to stories about them.
I don't even love myself enough to spend $5,000.
Kiss has very unique fans.
So here's my question: Do you have Gene Simmons and the band members of Ace on speed dial if you need to? Do they have their private numbers if you want to call them up?
Not Ace. I just worked with Gene.
Oh,
Nothing against the other guy.
I'm calling Paul Stanley at 2 a.m. Paul, we need to talk.
No.
Oh man.
Not Paul.
We need to talk.
Nope. No, it's weird. The guys, even though they're obviously a band, each of the guys have their own people they deal with for like their backstage meet and greets. And so Paul has his own guy. Gene obviously has us. Ace and Peter aren't in the band anymore, but Ace still tours and plays. They got their own people. Yeah.
That is absolutely awesome. Oh, listen, Christina, thank you so much for coming on. Listen, if you are in, and you got to check out the Rio Casino. I know it's not one of the ones you've heard of a million times, but
It's a world famous casino.
No, Rio is awesome.
Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I love going to Rio.
Yeah, it is
I will
absolutely
say that
beautiful.
If this event will sell out, but Gene, if I have a couple minutes here, Gene added something that's so cool that the last show of the last tour is coming up December 1st and 2nd at Madison Square Garden. And it's going to be so busy there, they won't be able to meet fans backstage, so there's too much. So Gene rented out the Electric Lady Studios in New York City, which is the first place that Paul and Gene actually recorded a song. And he's going to let fans visit him there, get on stage, and record a song with him. So very similar to the Rio event.
If I did that, would be a bad idea.
Studios.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
That is
Pretty cool.
that is absolutely incredible. All right, listen, Christina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did not know that this was even. I did not
it
know
was a
that
real
this was
thing.
this.
Yeah, it's very
that this was
informative.
this big.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea.
Huge.
I honestly had no idea. All right, listen, thank you so much. Good luck with what's going on, and I'm sure you'll sell out. And now that everybody knows the people are here, you'll sell out on Friday. And it was so much fun talking to you. Thanks so much.
Take care, guys.
All right, take
Thanks.
care.
You take care.
She
I'm at
was
a loss.
amazing.
I told you that she was. I knew that she had to
Wow.
be in with Gene Simmons.
Yeah, I just Oh no, I looked the stuff up online and everything. When
I
kinda-
didn't know. I was just
yeah.
kind of guessing, but I know that's how he does business. You know, he
Are
makes
you
connections
guys-
like
so
that.
she got to know him because she was his like
No, so-
PR back.
So they kind of set this. They kind of set the Kiss thing up. This is like 12
the
years
mini
ago
golf.
or so.
The mini
mini golf and everything. Yeah,
That's how she
the
met
mini
him.
golf and the rock and roll chapel and everything. Yeah, so that's
Right,
been
but then
going
how
on.
did she end up doing his backstage
because
stuff?
he probably just liked her. Because
Okay.
she was trying to get the rights for the Kiss to do the mini golf,
And then
they-
she did say they work well
She
together.
said, "Yeah, we get along." So he
yeah.
probably is like, "Hey, why don't you? I'll hire you for this."
That-
That's cool, right?
The personal interaction
I
that
know.
he does with this is amazing.
Yeah,
Isn't
well,
it-
she sounds amazing. That she's perfect
Yeah.
for that kind of job.
Yeah.
You know.
But here's like my question in general. I mean, maybe I'm just wired differently. Like, I can't think
Yes.
of anybody currently alive,
Maybe.
no matter how famous they are, that I'm like, I got to get in a room with this person. And I got to meet, especially if it's some dude my age. I'm like, you're like my age, man. I don't fucking meet you. I'm not gonna ask for your
but I
autograph.
mean, but-
I'm a grown man too. You know, so just
Yeah,
'cause
but I
you're good
think
at
the
something-
experience seems different though, because
Yeah.
it's not just like when you're meeting somebody and they sign, a piece
That
of
is-
paper, and
you're
you're
right.
like, okay, like I didn't really meet you, I didn't
Right.
have it, but when he does this personal one-on-one interaction with you, you got to know him. That's different. So I think that.
That is pretty
I
insane.
mean, you still might not
There's-
want to.
This is
meet him,
so
but-
unique,
If-
Jack.
no, listen,
You're right.
yeah.
It's gotta be.
100%.
If
Oh,
you're a Kiss
totally.
fan,
if you're a Kiss fan, yeah,
if you're
obviously,
a
yeah.
big Kiss fan, $5,000 to get what you're getting. I mean, you
Yeah,
get the
for
whole
two
weekend.
people.
You
Yeah.
get the whole weekend with them, right? And you get all this special stuff. I mean, are you kidding me?
And then to show his gratitude, he buys everyone. He doesn't need
That's
to do that the
nuts.
next
I know.
day. Then
And
he
then he
buys
gives you
dinner
shit.
for
Like she
everyone
said,
and
he's-
gives you stuff.
Yeah, and he's going to sit down and talk to everybody. Like my neighbors are huge fans of like Lindsey Buckingham, and
He does not have a museum. I will tell you. Listen, I looked it up.
But he was in town like 5
Is that-
years
is that
ago.
Fleetwood Mac? That's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah,
right?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
He was in town like 5 years ago, and after the show, he did a meet and greet for like you buy your ticket and you can get the VIP package, and it's like another $400. And all you do is you get to go backstage, shake his hand, take a picture
Take a
of him, and
quick
you move on.
picture.
Yeah. So here's my question.
this
okay.
seems like it's way better.
me take a- let me take-
That's so unique. It's so
This
different.
is
take a poll.
unbelievable what
Yeah.
he's doing.
Who's the most famous person you ever met? Just whether it's coordinated or by happenstance, most famous person you ever met.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I met anybody really famous.
Anybody?
I mean, again, like somebody that you just like
No, just like
meet in
like a
passing or
fa-
actually had a conversation.
like had a
with?
conversation with. That doesn't have to be like
Oh,
a
Frank
concert.
Thomas.
You went Frank? Okay, you went Frank Thomas. Yeah,
Yeah, when
okay,
I was
that's
working
good.
at the Score.
Okay.
Yeah, long time ago. Yep, Frank Thomas.
Anybody you can think of?
I shook John Mellencamp's hand, but I didn't really meet him.
Gotcha. Okay,
I actually touched John Mellencamp's butt. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I spent 2 days in.
He encourages.
Yeah.
I met Joe DiMaggio.
Oh God!
In 1981.
Jesus Christ!
Shook his hand.
Yeah.
He signed a
Yeah.
he signed a napkin for me. He said, "Kid, take that toothpick out of your mouth and don't shake my hand with your left hand." But he was Mr. Coffee. He was like 77 at the time, so it's not like
you
he
put out your left hand. Oh, you were young though.
yeah
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was just
well,
like,
that's when Ted was. Ted was trying to.
Just so
Ted
you
was
know,
trying to-
Ted's just putting his left hand up in front of Mark's
Right.
face right now.
Yeah.
Like
I-
a
you know
like
what-
a chimpanzee.
You know,
Right,
you know what I told him? You know what I told him? I said you were almost as good as Ted Williams. Almost. You were this close. Even though you won,
shit.
even,
No,
even,
you
though,
didn't.
even though you
No,
won
you
9
didn't.
World Series.
No, you didn't.
Ted Williams should have won more. He was
No,
just a dick to the
That's
press.
a time
why
in Ted's life when he was trying to fill a hole, so he was meeting a lot of older men.
Is this where the whole stalker thing
Yes.
starts coming
Sounds
in?
like a Chris.
It's
Sounds
all
like a Chris.
getting
Sounds like a Chris
clear.
Hansen Dateline thing.
Yeah, because that's the first thing every time Ted met somebody famous. First thing he says, "Yeah, are you a stalker?" And Ted would go, "No." He goes, "That's what a stalker would say."
My favorite.
Do you want to guess what movie my mom took me to?
Actually, my favorite Chris Hansen question of all time. He goes, "What are you doing here?" I love the guy thinks he's going to be a little kid, and all of a sudden Chris Hansen comes out with a clipboard. He goes, "Why are you here?"
No, that is one of my favorite things. Well, I brought these wine coolers so that I could show this child not to drink wine coolers, and I brought these roofies to tell him not to take the roofies from an adult man. Why? Yeah, I love that too.
And he goes, "Well, you're free to leave anytime you want." That's my favorite.
Yeah, you're free to
free to-
leave
free to leave.
anytime you want. Oh man. Okay, well, that's kind of cool. I was worried because we were supposed to. Obviously, she's supposed to come on later, like all the guests. But
Yeah,
she
I'm
kind of.
totally messed up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This
am I.
never happened.
Yeah. No, I'm in a weird place right now. So let's see.
Let's clarify because the guest came on before we
Yeah.
did
before we-
anything
yeah,
right.
before
So this is
we-
like
the
Rain-
guest is usually
yeah.
after 30
Is
minutes.
this like Rain
yeah.
Man? So we're out of sync now. We can't.
Right.
We didn't put the two peas next to each other next to the steak, so
Well, no,
we can't
yeah, I
eat the dinner.
take that back. When we used to,
The
before we
200
did,
toothpicks.
we used to do them in studio, so
Yeah.
they were always with us.
Well, yeah, that's what we had people on for a longer period of time. Yeah, so, and it was funny
More
because
local
she,
people.
yeah, she texted me and everything. And I was like, all right, fine, we'll just do it when you do it. I said, when you come on, because she was actually really nice about it. She had to go to the Rio and do some stuff
Yeah.
today, and so she
No, we
was
appreciate her time.
All right, so we need to do Ted's tips.
All right.
All right. So let me get some of my stuff
Are we
here.
sponsored?
We are sponsored. Okay. So I want to get to that because people are like, it's so funny. We missed a Ted's Tips for a couple of weeks, and people actually complained. It was the biggest. It was one of the few things that they had to say that they really didn't like. And then Ted mentioned talking about Hitler all the time. That seemed like that was
Besides
Well,
when
not all
Right.
the time.
yeah.
mean-
Well, for a while it was all the time. Ted. You pretty much. I think we went like. Let's see. We've done. This is show number 62. I think we went 61 straight shows. We talked.
Yeah,
about
well,
Hitler.
but not like in a
Right.
fawning, like I want his autograph way. I mean, just like in general.
At some point, you said you wanted to have. We talked about having dinner with someone famous, and the first person you came up with was Hitler. And I said
Well,
somebody living.
I said Stalin. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'd have dinner with them. I mean, if you had to pick like anybody in history, I mean, who would you have dinner with?
Anybody?
Frank Thomas?
What can I? Can I have dinner with Frank Thomas?
Sure.
No,
I
anybody.
would have
in
dinner with Frank Thomas.
Yeah, I would love to have
Seems like
dinner
a
with
nice
Frank
guy.
Thomas. But if anybody in history, I think we talked about this. I think I go George Washington. Washington or Lincoln.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
choice, good choice.
And if not, then it'd be like some emperor, like the biggest emperor, like whoever. I don't know who's the most famous, like Greek or Roman
somebody
emperor.
that doesn't speak English. That'll be
No, you.
interesting.
How about?
I'm sure. Listen, if I can bring him back from the dead, I'm sure we can get a space translator too. But yeah, I would want to know what absolute and total like world
Alexander the
power,
Great,
yeah.
Attila the
Yeah.
Hun.
Yeah, someone who
all those
basically
guys, yeah.
controlled every part of their known existence of space. That they controlled it. Yeah, that would be
They were
awesome.
like gods, like kings back in the day. You know, unlike King Charles today. I mean, the kings were considered like gods by the people. You know?
I don't think he's a god, Ted.
No, I don't
even though I can't go 20 minutes without seeing a news story
But
pop up
here-
about
here's
him.
the thing: King Charles can't even get Adele to perform at his coronation. So that tells you how far the royal monarchy has fallen.
Well, there's some controversy there. So
There is some controversy. I don't know what it
And
is.
if I
'cause
hear,
don't
and if I
care,
hear one
but
more
yeah.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry story, or
You can't, Ted. You can't go 5 minutes without it. I don't know why people care. Yeah, she's mean to him. He's mean to her. He bought his. What's the one he bought? They have insider said that he bought all his mistress's children, all of them.
Who?
By the way, one of the princes bought all of them Christmas presents, and I'm like, Christmas is
that was,
over.
That was nice of him.
Christmas is over. How do you know this, and the rest of the world doesn't know this? How can there be an insider? I mean,
It's all crap.
It's so ridiculous. The whole thing is so silly. I mean, you guys heard that Tiger Woods broke up with his girlfriend, right?
Oh, I love that story.
no,
Yeah,
Yeah, wait.
Tiger Woods broke up with his girlfriend.
Lindsey Vaughn.
Erica
No,
Harmon.
no, way
Erica
after.
Harmon. Yeah, this is way after
that.
Lindsey Vonn. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he literally broke up with her. And the funny thing is when they started dating, and I guess this happens when like an ultra rich guy. I'm assuming this always happens.
Yeah.
An ultra rich guy dates a normal, right?
Like a civilian. He dates a civilian. Yeah.
She had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, they all do. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Makes sense to me.
right, because you don't want somebody telling
Right.
Tiger Woods stories, right? And then she came out, and I guess they broke up, and right, and she comes
Yeah,
out
it
and
happens,
she says, okay, number one, this is the funniest thing. She goes, number one, I was kicked out, and we're like, oh, okay,
Of his
whatever,
mansion. So
right,
so she was living at his mansion.
right. So and then number two, she said he promised me no matter what that if we broke up that I could live in his house for 5 years after we broke up.
No, he didn't.
No. What normal person? What normal person?
Wait, you promised me that. You said I could stay in this basement for the
She
next
just
5 years.
thought because
If we
there's so
break up,
much
Ted.
space and it's just him.
He wouldn't
he'll
notice.
notice. Yeah, he wouldn't
What
notice.
a silly thing! Like you would promise that to someone, like you got your new girlfriend, and who's that? That's my girlfriend. Yeah,
I made a
yeah,
promise.
yeah.
Yeah, she's a promissory girlfriend.
And then my favorite was she goes, and I'm missing $40,000. Like
Sure,
Tiger
yeah,
needs like Tiger needs 40,000. Like Tiger wouldn't just like reach in his back pocket and just throw $40,000 at her.
No, he
just-
snuck into her room in the basement and took her $40,000.
right and
because
put
he needed it.
and put it with his
What was she
400
doing?
million.
40
Right.
grand cash in his house.
But right.
It's
Well, I
just-
mean, isn't it?
Nobody has cash like that anymore.
What are you talking about?
Except for me.
She probably takes it. I mean, I would pocket that, man. And do you know how they met? She ran one of his restaurants. That's how they met. He loves
he loves waitresses,
He loves
yeah.
waitresses. But I guess she kind of ran it. But yeah. Now here's the weirdest part. There's a casino that is taking bets on who his next girlfriend will be.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And so who's in the front running?
Front runner Giselle Bundchen. If you can believe
Nah,
that.
she's dating her jujitsu instructor.
Teddy,
I
She's
thought
off
you
the
were going to say
market.
something else.
No, listen to me. Here. I'll give you the top ones.
Whenever that comes, whenever he
Giselle,
said,
no. Giselle was odds-on favorite. She was the odds-on favorite if you're betting. Now I don't know if you can just like take the field.
she's
like,
gonna bet her jeweler.
Right.
yeah, I have no idea. But here's the rest of them. Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Good luck with
That
that.
I could see.
Oh God! You know what?
The curse,
He'll never.
the curse of the Kardashians.
Yeah,
You-
Wait a
never
minute.
play golf
why
again.
what I would do is the smart money is on whatever restaurant he frequents.
Perkins,
waitress or manager there.
Perkins,
Right.
Perkins
The greeter to
waitress.
person.
Smart money's on a
hostess, yeah.
waitress or a hostess.
That's his
yeah.
pattern. That's his MO.
So
That's
here it
his
is.
MO.
It's Kim Kardashian, Shakira, and this one I thought, and these are real odds. You can really go Jada Pinkett Smith,
Who's
Oh, the
still
same-
married right now, though.
but I don't think
They're-
that makes a
they're
difference.
swingers.
Yeah,
Isn't she the one who went and had her little? She had a table talk thing a few years ago. So she cheated on Will Smith with, I guess, like a kid, like
Yes.
one of her kids' friends, and then goes
Who
and
was
then,
living in their
yeah,
house.
and then brings him on
makes
a
it easier.
and then brings
Good-
him on the
good move.
talk
Does.
show, and then brings him on a talk show to publicly humiliate him to talk about the guy she cheated with, who's not even a grown man, you know. So and he slapped Chris Rock. I think he slapped the wrong person.
No, listen to me. But listen, that's how you think how fragile Will Smith is, right? He's super famous. He's a good-looking guy, right, and everything. And he, for some reason, he's in this and he can't get out of this. Right?
Why
Isn't that
can't he?
weird?
Why can't he just move out and
Maybe.
just file for divorce?
Why can't he just go with anybody else?
I mean, he's
think
literally got
it's-
hundreds of millions of dollars. He can do anything he wants anytime. But for some reason, he must be.
Are we back? Are we on Will Smith now?
No, I'm just saying.
just
I
talking
think
about
it's.
it.
I think this thing. Okay, so here's the rest of the names: Vera Wang, Eva Longoria, Charlize Theron. These are just
I'm going to go with Will Smith. Was he on the list? No.
Katie Holmes, and then this is two I thought were interesting. The last three, sorry, Paige Sparanak, who's in a relationship. I mean, I don't know if that means
Is
anything.
that the golfer girl?
The golfer
Golfer
girl,
girl,
yeah. Kylie Jenner, and then you ready? The last person you can get odds on, and this
Her
is the
dad?
most disgusting. Khloe Kardashian.
So 3 Kardashians in that mix.
Kardashians
And a sister and
They're available.
Yeah,
Caitlyn Jenner.
and Caitlyn. Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't know. I have no idea
Dude,
what.
you're banging my mom.
I think Tiger needs a little me time. That's what I think. I think
Your
he-
mom was an Olympian.
I don't think I put. You know what? I'd put money on it that he doesn't date any of these people ever. But
There's no
but
way.
they have. I think it's kind of weird that your life can be out there for people to gamble on who you're going to date.
Right.
That's a scary thing, man. I mean, because if you're dating, look, I mean, if you're dating Tiger Woods, you don't really have a really fun life, right? You can't go out for pizza. You can't go mini golfing. You're not going to go to Vegas and have a good fun weekend and go to mini golf because 10,000 people are going to be following you,
Yeah,
taking
they're gonna
pictures
mob
of you.
you and-
You couldn't. I mean, you couldn't have a conversation. I'll bet you if Tiger Woods went out or anybody that famous.
But he wouldn't go mini golfing.
No, but if you're at a restaurant, if you're at a regular restaurant,
Noonan, miss it.
think about how many phones would just be pointed towards him. Think about how many phones would just be pointed towards that couple. I mean, you
Right.
couldn't talk about anything. You couldn't do anything.
Well,
if you
he'd
laughed,
rent out
he
the
would be
whole
like,
restaurant.
Everything has to be so planned out.
He'd rent out the whole restaurant, or he'd rent out a wing of the restaurant, like most famous
What is
people
that?
do.
What kind of experience is that?
Yeah, that doesn't seem fun. I mean, part of it is looking around and seeing all the weird people, right?
I
And
think
people
like
seeing me
a
weird.
few years ago, Angelina Jolie came to Chicago with her 7 adopted kids, and then I guess she rented out the field.
She stole 2 of those.
She rented out the Field Museum just for herself and her kids for the whole day. Blah blah blah. You know, so
that's the worst museum out of all of them. The Field Museum's the
Oh,
worst.
so boring.
That one is there's nothing like looking at bones of something that doesn't do anything
well,
to
you
make a
can't,
kid
you can't
say
touch anything. Like, museums of science and industry, you can interact with everything,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I even actually liked the art museum. I gotta admit it, man.
I'm a
It's-
Shed Aquarium
I
fan.
like
so,
them all. Actually.
Jackie, our friend, your Steve's cousin, right? Was the feeder in the Shed Aquarium in
Yes.
that main
Oh,
thing.
cool.
Yeah, he
Oh,
got.
I used to
He's
go-
a scuba
yeah.
diver,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, he was a scuba diver.
Scuba diver, so
probably-
he got to go in there
Yeah.
for a year or
Yeah,
a
that's
few
awesome.
months.
It was a few years.
Yeah, a few years.
He's mic'd up too, talking to
Yep.
everybody.
Yeah, you probably have to.
Yeah,
You
that's
probably have to.
really
Probably
Well,
have
so
to
we'd
have a-
bring our kids, and he'd talk to, he'd
Nice.
shout out their names while we were there, so that was kind of fun.
probably have to have a degree in zoology or whatever. Or
He's a graphic designer.
okay, well,
Just-
Same thing.
Yeah,
Graphic
same thing.
design,
Yeah.
zoology. Yeah, I mean,
Was
all
he
you
getting
do,
paid for
a lot
that?
of crossover.
Ted, let's be honest.
I was going to say, yeah.
No.
There's a
He's
goddamn
volunteered.
fish.
Museum,
There's
yeah.
a goddamn fish. Look at that orangey one. That's a pretty cool fish.
Did they
Huh?
did they just pick any volunteer to go in there, or
No,
do you
I
have
mean,
to
you
be a
had
scuba
to be,
diver?
you had to be, certified in all the different
No,
things,
no, I'm
and
just
yeah.
kidding.
You know what? I don't know anything
All
about
right.
fish, and I'm not a
We
strong
need
swimmer.
somebody to volunteer to get in the pool and feed the fish.
Right.
Yeah,
Or be fish food.
Yeah,
Go feed it. Go feed an orca. Good luck with that.
I don't think they have those at the Shed Aquarium. Do they? Do they have an orca?
No.
That's really big.
Yeah, that's huge.
I don't know. I saw that thing.
SeaWorld.
I saw
They
that
have
thing
those-
about
they have
whales.
those whales.
Yeah,
They have those beluga,
blackfish,
blackfish or something. Yeah,
they have the
yeah.
beluga whales or whatever
Yeah,
they're called.
documentaries ruin everything. I'm telling you, every time I watch a documentary, I'm a little sad and I throw something away or I stop doing something.
Watch the happy ones.
What's a happy documentary? Nobody makes a happy
There's tons of
documentary.
them. We just watched
About
a really
what?
good one about elephants. It was a short. There's all these documentaries now that are shorts, and it's a news.
You know, elephants are going extinct. Sorry, I didn't want to.
Now you got to get rid of your elephant.
The one in the room. All right, so okay, let's do Teddy's tips because we got a lot to do. We got some stuff I want to talk about today. So let me do our sponsor. Excuse me. Okay.
Do you want me to start now?
No. Yes. Wait. Hold on. No. This summer, coming to a theater near you. What do you get when you have 400 fornicating penguins, a large hole in the ground filled with used sex toys, a garbage bag of Viagra, and 3 geriatric cops who just lost their badges because they shot up a school of handicapped children? Hilarity. Watch Mel Brooks, Dick Van Dyke, and Angela Lansbury in her final role mumble and bumble their way through the most disturbing comedy ever made. This summer, you will laugh, you will cry, and you will pray for a quick, painful death when you watch what critics are calling a nightmare that just won't end soon enough. You won't want to see the Fuck It List. These old bastards don't want to go anywhere but down on you. The Fuck It List. Rated R for smoking, harsh language, and extremely old people having hardcore sex.
That's a good sponsor.
R-rated.
That's R-rated.
It's
yeah.
at the Pickwick right now. NC-17.
Oh, you know what? This might be an old copy. I got this. I got this when all these people were alive, and I just don't know if they are still. Okay.
Maybe they edited it. I don't know.
I have no idea. Are you trying to figure out the song here? Are you trying to get
I'm trying to get my beat, man. This is a difficult song.
you get your funky beat? Okay, so you have a good song, and we're all singing this. And Ted, you have no idea. We made sure that you never heard this.
We didn't talk about it yesterday either intentionally. And we didn't even talk about not talking about it, but we actually were on the
Right.
same page.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about when we didn't talk about not talking about it. I wanted to talk about it.
Oh, me too.
But then
I
you didn't.
I didn't.
Right.
That's good because I
Yeah.
didn't catch
But
any
you
of
thought
it.
about it
Yeah, but then I did talk about it. Yeah,
a little bit in your
I
head.
did. I did
Yeah.
to myself.
Okay.
Oh, what he actually said is we can talk about it now because we're not going to do it till tomorrow. Ted will never remember.
No, of course he didn't. He didn't. We had a conversation before you got here about a show, and I'm like, Ted, we already talked about that. And he's like, when? I'm like, 2 weeks ago, Ted. 2 weeks ago, we just talked
2 weeks.
about
That's like dog years. That could be like years ago.
It is. It is. His dog. It is for somebody who humps in the backyard and takes a shit in the grass. That
Oh
is.
my God.
Yeah. All right, are you ready,
hang on,
Marquise?
no, hang
Oh,
on.
come on, man.
Something happened. Okay,
You're killing me. All right.
all right, you ready?
And Tiger. Okay.
I can just raw dog it if I have to. That was a poor choice of words,
Oh,
but
my
you know,
goodness, dude.
just for
That
the tips.
is-
just for
Actually,
the
you
tips.
can still say that.
That is.
You can still say that.
Yeah.
That one's a good
That
one.
one's okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Go
Let's see
for
if
it.
I can do this, Jackie.
You got it.
Is everybody plugged in?
Everybody's plugged in, man. Let's go, bro.
I can't hear
We've
you.
been talking for like 45 minutes.
Who are you?
This whole show's fucked up. Our guest came on to start the show.
Dude, today.
Maybe Matt should reintroduce you.
Yeah, the guy who can't talk.
Oh, let's go. All right. You were the guy that changed my world. Your advice is free. Your tip was lit, and I feel the rules. Your words will last with me, but you flip me out, Ted.
You dropped your tips on me. Teddy, you dropped your tips on me.
But you messed me up.
You dropped your tips on me. Teddy, you dropped your tips on me.
Your pills were thrills that cured my ills. You dropped a tip on me. You tipped me out and you pissed me off. You steer me loose, then you turn me wrong.
You dropped your tips on me. Teddy, you dropped your tips on me.
But you messed me up,
You
Ted.
dropped your tips on me. Teddy, you dropped your tips on me.
Just like Matt and Mark, your words are free. You took me to the dark and I've never been so scared. You were my pills that cured my ills. You were my hope, Ted, you were my smoke, but you messed me up.
You dropped your tips on me. Teddy, you dropped your tips on me.
But you messed me up,
You
Ted.
dropped your tips on me. Teddy, you dropped your tips on me.
It's time for Ted.
Wow, that was really good. You know, I think we just found the new opening act for Kiss at Madison Square Garden. Not the Gap Band.
Mark, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was great.
That was, I cannot, that is, you are,
We need music.
How did you keep that melody going? That was,
I don't know.
you know what? If we could, I mean, we obviously can't play the
That
music,
is one of the
but
best,
if we
grooviest
could-
songs ever, I think.
yeah. Oh, man.
Love,
that
the,
is-
love the Gap Band.
Funkified, the show.
Oh, man. Love the Gap
Funkified
Band.
right there.
Cool in the Gang, Gap Band. Those guys are great. Yeah.
Love that
Gap
stuff.
Band always started a song with like some weird intro.
Yeah.
Like that train song with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Party
the
train, party train, party train.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
aboard.
That's right. Yeah, that's
All
what
aboard.
he did. He go,
Yeah,
all
that's the whole-
aboard.
yeah, there's like 40 seconds, right, where it's all
Yeah,
just that
yeah,
kind of
there's
stuff.
always- Yeah, it's hilarious, dude. And the sound effects were shit. Like the train was like toot toot.
right.
Yeah, nobody cared. That's
Like
the best
literally
thing,
a preschool
Yeah,
child.
yeah, it was like a.
Yeah. No, I love that. Okay, this week's tip comes from Oliver in Perth, Australia. And you ready? This is how he starts. Ted, number one, I am not a stalker.
I believe you.
So there we go. Well, okay. So that's
that was just
that
a run,
part.
that was just a running gag. I don't think
part's done.
everybody's
Okay.
a stalker.
Okay. I'm 25 years old. I'm dating two women. One is spontaneous and fun, but is kind of lacking drive to get a serious job and be an adult. Okay. The other one has a great job, but isn't very adventurous. I got to pick one. Please help.
Which one should I stalk, Ted?
Well,
But I'm totally not a stalker.
yeah. So my what I would do personally. Okay, so 25 years old. You're pretty much,
Half your age.
yes,
Here it goes.
prime of your life, having some fun. I would definitely go with the more adventuresome, spontaneous, and fun girl who's lacking a job or doesn't have like a high-paying job, because chances are she could always get a job in the future, but the girl who has a good job, she's not going to become overnight adventurous, spontaneous, and fun. So that's like in the DNA. So I would definitely go with the spontaneous, adventuresome, and yes.
You don't think that if like you don't think you could go and do things to get her to be more adventurous, more spontaneous?
It's possible, but it's going to be an effort where someone who's already kind of hardwired that way.
Yeah,
You know,
but what if she never? I mean, what if she never gets a good job? Then you end up like you're falling for someone who's going to be working at McDonald's for the rest of her life. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough road to hoe.
yeah, but I mean, 25 is pretty young. So I mean, a lot of young people don't start their real career until they're in their early 30s, even. So I'm just saying he's in the prime of his life, so he should have some fun now and see where it goes. And obviously, if things change in say 5 years from now, he could always change pace. But I'm just saying that I think just based on the description I have, go with the spontaneous, fun, and adventurous one, because she's already has a predisposition to do that.
Is
where
that
the
what
other
he
one-
wants, though? Maybe that's not what he wants.
No, he just said he wanted to pick. He didn't say he was leaning.
He
in
didn't
He
have
has
it-
to
yeah,
pick one,
yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah,
Probably
so,
dating at a point, like if you're dating so long, you don't want to be dating two people.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
probably would.
You're
get
going to
a
lose
little-
them both then.
You'd
Yeah.
probably get a little
Yeah.
messy.
but I'm just saying he's given us a choice, and my choice would be the one who's fun, for want of a better term. Maybe the other one's fun too, but sounds like this one's more fun because he obviously
Definitely. Yeah, there's
differentiated
definitely
between the two. Yeah.
So you're
think-
saying sow your royal oats.
Yeah.
Because a job's a job. How do we know the adventurous fun girl can get a better job than possibly the non-fun girl?
Something adventurous and fun, like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Like
jumping out of planes or
tour, a
something.
tour guide in Aruba. I don't know. She could do
So
anything.
he's sitting at home. He's sitting at home right now and saying, "Ted gave me advice, and I am going with the I'm going with the
Opposite.
other one."
Opposites.
Yeah.
Going to right now, you know what he's doing. Right? He's just trying to figure out which girl to stalk. You know that, right? Right? He's gonna be like, I'm breaking up with you, and you will never be free
Instead
of
of
me.
dating, he's like, "I've been stalking this one girl. She's got her shit together." So he just implemented dating instead of stalking.
So and chances
hey, Matt,
are
reread his request,
All right, let
but
me-
fill in
I
stalking
need to
instead of
figure out
dating.
which one I should still
Hold on,
stalk.
let me see this. Ted, I'm definitely a stalker. There are two women whose house I sleep outside each night. Yeah. Wow.
He's got the hidden camera in the little. He's got the hidden camera in the nanny cam and the little teddy bear watching.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is I honestly thought you were gonna say dump them both and get another one. I honestly thought you
Oh,
were
like
gonna
the
do
perfect
that.
combination. Yeah, but and plus with the one who's kind of, let's just say, for want of a better term, she's non-fun and she has a serious job. She's going to focus more on her job and less on you anyway. So it's even going to get worse with that one. And then, for example, let's just say the fun one doesn't work out in 2 to 3 to 5 years. As long as you don't have any kids with her, where you're kind of tethered to her for the rest of your life, you
'Cause
can.
that's not fun.
You can
That's
meet
not
you
fun.
you can meet somebody who's a hybrid. You can meet somebody who's just fun enough. Just fun enough and
With
has
stepchildren.
and has an okay job.
So hybrid. That
And
would
you
be a
can stalk
hybrid,
her.
right?
Yeah. So a chick who's like not maybe as fun as this chick, but she's not the Michael Jordan of fun. She might be the Scottie Pippen of fun, but she has an okay job.
I think Scottie Pippen might be more fun than Michael Jordan.
No Tip and Pippen?
hybrid,
I
the
doubt
hybrid.
it.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I hear stories about both those guys. They both sound fun.
Yeah.
All right, Teddy. I honestly, you know what? That makes perfect sense to me.
You know, I have to say, I think it's because Ted has his paper labeled Ted's Tip Paper. So
I wrote that. I wrote
Oh.
that. Yeah.
My handwriting's
right.
not that good.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought maybe that's why he had a coherent thought. Like,
And then, if
actually-
you notice, I took his pen away so he won't draw any pornographic pictures. And you don't
and then
have
he
to be,
and then he took Mark's pen.
yeah. He tried to trick Mark.
I just
into
wrote
He's like, hey, hand me my pen. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
hey, Mark, sell me this pen. Sell me this pen.
All right, so I want to do this because I thought this was really cool. There was an article in the UK, okay?
That's United Kingdom.
It's United Kingdom, for those of you who don't know. And they were talking about women's rights. And I
For our
thought this
listeners
was
in Texas.
I thought this was really weird. So in the United Kingdom, okay, in England, Europe, whatever, that kind of thing, 52% of Gen Z people and 53% of millennials said that society's gone too far in promoting women's rights. And at this point now, they're actually discriminating against men. Is that ridiculous? Are millennials and Gen Z people just out of their fucking minds? Does that, I mean,
I hope
I'd
this
be
is all
curious who
fake.
they actually polled about that because I mean, that's definitely not how it is here. I think
We're again.
So-
What's
so
No,
the,
for sure it's not like that.
what's the
here.
age
Right.
range of millennials and Gen Z? Or just because I always hear that, but I kind of forgot. Like just
I think
just
it's like zero. Like when you cover millennials, it's like 0 to like 40 or something, right?
Okay.
Is that millennials like
No,
around
millennials.
40-ish or?
Millennials, yeah, 1980, like
Okay.
born in 1981.
Yeah, so right about there. So everybody, so Gen Z is the younger. So
Okay.
everybody who's a coherent age up till
Yeah.
about 40,
Right.
yeah, thinks that in the UK, and you'd be surprised in America that those numbers are not much different. It's just in the high 40s where people, because there's
You
a
know
lot
why?
of people that
Because they're just tired of hearing anything that's repeated. So they're like, enough of this already.
you think so.
Yeah, they have no attention. They have no
So
attention
kids
span.
these days. That's what we're saying. Is that our answer to this?
Yeah, but they're
no,
40.
But listen.
They're in their 30s and 40s.
These people actually believe that they're now discriminating against men. Like being a man now is you still don't have all the things. I mean, I don't think there's a woman. I honestly don't feel like there's a lot of women that would say that things have reversed. And it seems so crazy to me. Doesn't it seem insane?
it does.
We're still
Well,
not
I
even.
think actually what I think is that men in general are taken for granted because like for example.
Man, I'm glad Elizabeth's not here.
No, I
Oh,
mean think
man.
about it. Like I'll use the analogy:
She can call in.
the boat sinking, women and children first, right? So I think there was a comic. What he said was, and I don't necessarily agree, but he said something along the lines. He goes, why do men get paid more than women for the same job? He goes, it's a surcharge because if I'm on the boat, we got to offload the women and children first, and he goes, I'm going to go down with the boat. So there's the extra. That's why I get the extra $1.
Wow.
Oh man, are you Teddy? Please tell me that you were drinking heavily before you got here.
No, I'm just I'm quoting a comic.
he's
I don't.
quoting somebody.
I'm just quoting somebody. Yeah, but I'm just saying. Obviously, there's a lot of different opinions out there.
No,
Of
you're
course,
right.
women should have equal rights as men. Of course, and I don't know why people have certain. Obviously, different people have different belief systems for whatever reason, whatever their upbringing or whatever they're watching on CNN or Fox News or whatever, MSNBC.
Like the stuff we talked about with Lauren Boebert
Yeah.
last week, she was feeling like she needed a masculine, or said that statement and kind of retracted it, but needing a masculine person to balance out women's weaknesses.
Oh man, but okay, so
Maybe it's
listen-
a religious thing.
So on International Women's Day, they did another study. They did another survey, and they said that people again in Britain are afraid to promote women's rights for fear of reprisals.
Well, let me ask you, what rights are we even talking about?
like they're
because
trying
I mean,
not to draw attention to it.
I guess they don't want to stand up and say, "Hey, man, that's not right."
yeah.
Which is weird to me because. I mean, when did we become afraid to give our opinion? Because I feel like every time I turn on the TV, someone's giving me an opinion. Most of it is absolutely fucking stupid. But I don't understand why. Why would you say, "Hey, man, I think women should be able to do this, women should be able to do that," and at least give them a chance? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I think, Jackie, is it better now than it's ever been in history?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general it's on an upward.
Right? And you
Slope.
have a daughter who's like going to be out of college soon, right?
Right.
So she is very athletic. She plays sports. So you got to witness firsthand that she was able to participate in anything she wanted. When we were kids, if you were a girl, you couldn't play in a little league team.
Right.
You couldn't.
Yeah, that's true. No,
There's
I just-
100% you could not. And in every, like, it seemed like every 5 to 10 years, girls, not women, but girls, kids, were allowed to do a little bit more. And now those girls are now adults. And I mean, and then it transferred into like adult society as well. I think.
But that's why it would make me so disappointed that, all these things have changed, and to find that someone who's a Gen Z or
Yeah.
a millennial
Right.
feels that they are getting too many rights seems a little insane.
I'm sure none of the Gen Z or Gen X or the millennial women are saying that.
Well, I just saw an interview with Michaela
Right.
Schifrin. She just passed, like, she was the most decorated skier in U.S. history.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right now. So she has this thing on, and I don't remember the exact acronym of it. She has something written on the back of her helmet, and it says something like, run faster than all the boys or something like that.
Yeah.
Or be faster than all the boys. And so that's what her parents always told her. Like, you can be just as fast, you can be faster. And so that's always motivated her. And I wish I remembered the exact acronyms of what it was, but it was pretty inspiring. And that's exactly what it should be. Just be the best at what you can be.
I think we should extrapolate. I mean, forget the UK. Let's talk about Afghanistan. Let's talk about Iran and Iraq. That's where women have less rights. There, I mean, that's where they were actually actively taking away women's rights. Like you can't.
Well, that's a whole nother
yeah,
world.
but
yeah,
but
but
that's
not
not
even, most of
we
that
can't
is
even
most of that
talk
is
about it.
religion.
right. But you
Most
can't.
of that is
If
religion.
you're walking around
Well,
with,
this is where the
without,
government operates.
if you're walking around
Yeah,
without
but
hajib,
it's a government religion.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it's when you're. I mean, that's
they
the
don't want
thing.
women educated.
No, yeah,
right,
but we're talking night and day. Right, what we're talking about is, for the last 100 years in this country, women have exponentially become more equal to men, and it's still not close. It's still not there. And I mean, I'm telling you, I know,
Right.
and
yeah, for sure.
because I'm a guy and I know guys, so we're still not even there. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Women are not getting paid as much as. I mean, we know that the pay
Right.
gap, right? We know that for a fact, but it's better than it's ever been. But it's not where we need to be. So no, we don't. It's not like over talk. We don't need to. We're talking about this too much. Women are. I mean, no, it still needs to continue until, it's evident that okay, we are where we need to be, and we'll never be there.
Well, the biggest picture is, and we talked about this before when it comes to politics. Like politicians say, nobody is above the law. Trust me, there's a lot of people above the law. So,
yeah.
a lot of people.
Anybody with money is above the
when
law.
they say everyone's created equal, no, they are not, and they never will be. Men
well,
are
that's
not
a
equal
silly
to other
concept. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be people who have means are going to have
Yeah.
way more opportunities than people that don't.
People with money, with a large sums of money, like Tiger Woods. You think if Tiger Woods gets sick, you think he's going to John Stroger Hospital to wait there for 3 hours, or you think that like 3 of his personal physicians are going to come running from the west wing of his mansion in Jupiter, Florida, to attend to his every need. So, right then and there. So, you think if Tiger Woods gets charged with a crime, he's going to get the assistant, public defender, in court. No. So, just the overall picture is, if you're here's a sad truth. If you're perceived as good looking, if you're perceived as rich, seriously, these are studies.
I feel like you're getting off the topic.
No,
right
but
there.
you
I really-
will be treated better
Well,
than somebody.
You know what I almost said? Off.
Yeah.
You know what Mark
Yeah.
almost knows what I almost said.
If you want
here-
some hard truths,
what
those
is
are hard
what
truths.
is exactly what the millennials and the Gen Zers said? What did they say exactly? That the recognition of the lack of women's rights, or
So they felt that they've gone so far in promoting women's rights that it's now discriminating against men.
okay, and
I mean, that's a ridiculous concept.
It is, but here's a case in point. This whole campaign, when it started 40 or 50 years ago, and it's gotten to this point, we've gotten to the point to where a woman was elected president of the United States. I mean, Hillary Clinton won the popular. She lost the presidency because of the electoral vote, but she won the popular vote in the United States. That
true.
would not have happened had we not had this sort of campaign in place the past 50 or 40 years. So it's truly working, and it's serving a purpose. So it is not like, it's going on too much. It's not. It's not. It's never been. It was definitely more promoted, I think, 20 or 30 years ago. Now it's just kind of like more norm. It's embedded in our society now.
Right.
It's nothing new. It's a continued progression. But seriously, think about that. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote for the United States of America. Who would have thought that would have happened 20 years ago even? Never. I mean, I'm not just her as a person, but a woman in general.
Just a woman.
Yeah,
Right.
she won the popular vote.
Yeah, no, I
If
listen,
there was no electoral college, she would be president of the United States. So that campaign has served a purpose, and it is working, and it needs to continue because there's still work to be done.
yeah, I mean, if you'd have said 20 years ago, if we,
And I'm getting laid tonight.
We're all getting laid. No, listen, if you'd have said 20 years ago, if you'd have gone in a Wayback Machine, I guarantee you that there have been very few people on Earth who would have said that in the next 20 years, a woman will win the popular vote and a black guy will be president. No chance. No chance that anybody would have thought that 20 years ago. Absolutely not. So, I mean, things are getting
Actually, you've
better.
never seen Back to the Future, have you?
Wait, who was
You
Back?
know Back to the Future predicted all this.
Did
The
it
movie,
really?
yeah.
Oh, the one kid was president. Yeah.
Well, he became mayor. He was mayor. The black mayor. And
What's the difference, mayor, president? They're basically the same.
Alderman.
Yeah. Wait, that's like being a king.
they predicted the Cubs winning the World Series.
Did they really?
Yeah, Back to the Future
But
too.
if you just say it enough, and they get lucky one time because Cleveland can't catch a ball. I mean, that's
Unless
the
they're
only reason.
playing the White Sox.
Yeah, that's the only reason the Cleveland. That's the only reason the Cubs won the World Series is because the Cleveland outfield couldn't catch a ball.
No, I thought it was
couldn't
because
catch a fly
Jason
ball.
Hayward went off during the rain delay.
What? He went off at what? To go drinking?
No, he went off on the team during the rain delay.
Oh,
and they came back out and
said
inspired.
and said hit a fly ball to any of the Cleveland outfielders. One of them will drop it sooner or later.
Oh, don't go there.
I'm just saying. Okay, so with that in mind,
Don't take that away from me. too.
so we went away. No,
That's what he does. That's what he does to me.
We're here to break your spirit.
No, okay, so we went in a Wayback Machine. So I want to go way forward. There's this guy Ray Kurzweil. Okay, he's kind of I don't know exactly what he's an expert in, but he said we are 7 years away from immortality, where we can basically live forever. Do you guys want to live forever?
I wouldn't, and
I
you
don't
know,
want you to.
yeah.
Not the way things are. No.
You're like a vampire.
No, but I mean, would you honestly? I mean, listen, I don't want to die.
Rocky Marciano's
Yeah, I guess
137
that's a
years
hard
old.
question to
Yeah,
answer.
I don't want to die, but man, if everybody lived forever, what would be your motivation to do anything? Like if you could live for 200 years.
That's the exact premise of
300
Interview
years.
with a Vampire.
What?
Interview with a Vampire. Remember how bored they got after like 300 years?
Yeah,
They're just going through the motions.
It's like that with all those things. I mean, I just wouldn't. I mean, the thought of that is terrifying, and then the thought of some people living forever is even more terrifying. Could you imagine if you live forever, and Donald Trump lived forever also, and you had to listen to him forever?
No. The longer he lives, like if he continued this pace for next, someone's going to shoot that motherfucker. That's not going to. I mean,
Man, we are not advocating that.
No, I'm just saying.
are-
There's some crazies
No.
out there that it's
No, we're more of a stabby podcast than a
Definitely
shooty
more
podcast.
stabby.
Yeah. Anybody can shoot. We're way more of like a stabby or like an axe murdery thing. Yeah.
Well, even like just for the
slingshot,
Earth,
slingshot.
Right.
you'd have so much overpopulation.
Yeah, well, things have to die for other things to live. I mean, like I said, right now I think we have almost 8 billion people in the world. I mean, let's just
We do.
Yeah,
we
I
should
think it
have
was
way
like
more
7.5,
listeners. We should
yeah.
have way more listeners than we have right now.
See?
we have 7.2 billion right now.
Well, here-
We
Yeah,
just-
But
we
there's
just need to-
9 billion podcasts.
Yeah, no shit.
and half of them are true crime podcasts.
there's 4 podcasts,
and we already know who did it.
Yeah, there's 4 podcasts for every
Always the
person on
husband.
the earth.
Yeah.
All right, so there's this guy David Sinclair, and he's kind of like a longevity expert. Now he's 53, but he says his biological age is 43.
I think I heard
Yeah,
that.
dude,
I didn't know his name.
But he spends millions every year. Yeah.
Yeah, he spends millions
Well,
every year.
around the
He-
clock.
Yeah.
Cryogenic,
He's
you know,
just trying to do it.
whatever.
So what is
So
it?
he's like
what
Tom
is-
Brady, kind of a.
What does immortality mean, though?
I guess you can basically live until you don't want to anymore.
You live until.
You don't want to.
I mean, but what are all the scientists saying? We got 7 years left on the planet anyway.
Well,
So
did
we're
they-
all going to
did-
live
did-
toward
what?
immortality.
Didn't
Oh, maybe that's why it's 7 years
Wait
till
a
immortality.
minute. Wait, we have 7 years for me to get a hole in one? That's it?
Didn't we get one yesterday?
Let's bump it up to 9.
No.
You know what I told I told Ted while we were texting. I said, I hope Matt gets a hole in one, but it was the first day of spring yesterday. I hope there's a fucking dormant frog living in that hole, and as soon as the ball goes in there, he awakens for spring, and he shoots that ball up in the air. It goes in a sand trap, and he ends up with a double bogey.
Actually, I want you to get a hole in one too, so I just don't have to hear about it anymore.
Yeah,
Just
well,
between
you
you
know,
and
I didn't have to worry about that. It didn't happen. But okay, so this is this guy who's got this thing. This is what he does. He does intermittent fasting. Do you guys do any intermittent fasting?
I've done it. Yeah, basically, whatever you eat, you just wait like 8 to 10 or 15, 16 hours and don't eat again until
Yeah, it kind
something
of depends on your age and what
Yeah.
you're looking.
Yeah.
how hungry you are.
How,
If I'm
Yeah.
hungry, it might be 3 hours.
how high you are,
Yeah.
right?
I
Because
can
how high
fast
you
for
are.
7 hours while I sleep. It's fine.
If I have an edible, I might need 3 Big Macs
Yeah.
and a Whopper and a fish
man.
fillet.
Okay, but he also says one of the most important things in your life is to reduce stress. he's like they're doing studies that stress is literally, besides being ridiculously overweight, stress is literally a killer.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
But I don't see how you can. I mean,
Well, he has obviously millions of dollars to be able
Yeah.
to spend on all these things that he does, so that
Yeah, if you get that kind
must
of money,
make life a little
Yeah,
less
no,
he can
stressful.
seriously,
find-
it's not.
yeah.
It's unfair. It's not an even playing field. that
But
he's
again,
talking about.
here's a guy, like I
this
said-
guy. Yeah, he's got it all
going
right.
to we're talking about equality
Telling
again.
us
Here's a
how to
guy
do
who's
it.
got who's lecturing all of us
Yeah.
about all you got to do is just it's like remember
Oh,
the,
and he sleeps in one of those chambers too.
yeah remember
hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
That I didn't see.
Remember
but he
the-
probably does.
Remember
yeah.
the Tiger? There was a Tiger Woods commercial years ago. It was actually obviously a spoof, but he goes, first thing you want to do is just hit the ball 300 yards. Then you can just wedge it in. So yeah, just hit the ball
Right.
300 yards,
Right.
and you're going to be okay right after that. Yeah,
Straight.
yeah, no
You're-
big deal.
you're
Just hit it
fine.
straight down
Just
the
do
middle,
this. See,
And then don't chip over the green.
and then just
Yeah, stop doing that.
just hit the ball 300 yards.
But then he also said this was pretty interesting. Besides, exercising for like an hour a day, and this guy doesn't drink, so I'll never have a biological
There you go.
age other than that. But he said stay away from jerks.
Stay away
From jerks. That was actually one of his things.
Wow.
Yeah, jerky
So
people.
does he mean by like toxic people? I'm
Ted,
assuming.
I'm assuming
Ted, give me a
toxic
piece of
people.
paper.
My very
I'm
first
gonna write this down.
my very first boss out of school said she was older, and she said I'm getting rid of the toxic people in my life. She was just kind of having a change in her life, and she had a lot of people that were not good for her, and she
Keeping
just
it- yeah.
decided to
That she went on a killing spree.
Negative Nellies. Yeah. Well, we know
well,
people
she
like that.
she just did an inventory of the people in her life and was like, I don't need these certain people that are bringing me down, and that always stuck with me.
Ted.
30 years later.
Ted, we need to talk after the show.
We do.
I just wrote "stay away from Matt." I meant to write "jerks."
have a heart to heart. Matt, we need to talk.
I think
Oh,
Mark
man.
needs some counseling.
Yeah, you know what?
I think Mark's
I'm try-
traumatized.
I'm- hey, I'm
He's
working
just
on. I'm working
traumatized.
on him.
He's
you mean-
traumatized after.
I'm
yesterday.
working on your brother. believe
Yeah,
me.
we're gonna have a lot less idiots next show. I can tell
Imagine
you that right
growing
now.
up with him.
All right, yeah.
It's time to trim the corporate fat.
Hey, I can top that. I can top
There's
that.
no corporate here, just a lot of
Try
fat.
living in this head every day. Yeah, this shit ain't right. I know.
no
I know
sirree,
it ain't.
Bob.
All right, so now
First step is to take the pencil out of your ear. He's had a pen. That's why he's so fucked up. There's a pencil lodged in his ear since the 7th grade.
that's,
Yeah, his
that's a
teacher did
Matchbox
that.
car.
That was a crayon. That was a
Yeah,
crayon.
that's a Matchbox car, and that's my butt.
He went to
Just
the
so you know.
ear, nose, and throat doctor. Is that a number 2? All right, I gotta go.
All right,
Just leave it.
now there's another guy, and this is all part of this thing. He's going to live underwater for 100 days. Okay, now this is what he said. After 5 days under pressure of water, your cells double. This was his thing, and that he says he's going to come back. He's going to come back out of the 100 days when he comes back
this
up.
Chris Angel?
He's going to be superhuman.
Chris Angel?
That was his.
So he's going to have
The
new
magi- the
powers
magician,
or
the
something?
magician.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He says that after 100 days, and that'll be a world's record, the longest is 73 days. And by the way, none of those people had superpowers, so I guess the extra 17
Well,
days is the key.
Right.
I was
And-
gonna say, yeah.
And people who go into submarines, they don't come back with
My grandpa
superpowers
came
either.
back.
So I know
from
for
World
a
War
fa- I
II
know
fucked up.
I know for a fact. I know for a
Was it
fact.
superpower?
People who go to space, I think that Mark Kelly, who's a senator in Arizona now, like he was in space for like almost a year. He actually shrunk like half an inch. He actually shrunk like whatever his height was. He was
No,
half
I think
inch
they're
shorter.
taller.
No, he shrunk. That was like a real physical side effect.
Yeah, no, I think they're taller.
No, he shrunk.
Okay, so either Jackie, here's what we're gonna do.
Should I look it up?
Wait,
I'm
all right, hold on a second.
Google
Jackie? Do you have some free time coming up? We're gonna go first into space for a while. See if
Okay.
we get taller or shorter. Then we're gonna go down, and we'll just live down there. We'll do whatever, and then we'll see if we're superhuman.
So based on the ride we did in Disney where we both
boy.
like basically vomited after being in space, I think we'll just be dead. We might be taller or shorter, but
I have no chance
So-
of going.
don't
to
you
outer
just feel
space.
swimmy right now just thinking about it?
That was the
So
worst
if I
thing I've
play,
ever did.
if I played the same golf course 20 days in a row, by the
No.
20th day, would I be minus? Would I shoot under par?
Absolutely
Well,
not.
there you go.
Absolutely
There's
not.
the answer to all your questions right there.
But Ted, it's the alcohol that would wipe you out.
They get taller in space, but when they come back, and it takes 3 to 4 days to go back to their normal height.
Really?
So you
Wait.
guys were both right?
Yeah, they don't shrink. They get taller in space. Well, technically, when they come back down, they do shrink, but they get back down to their.
Oh, I see.
What? That is. Do you want to go someplace where that happens to your body physically? That cannot be.
I'd be
good
so
for you.
sad when I started shrinking.
Yeah. Look, I'm 6'8". Oh no.
No, but you know what? Actually, you heard about this new surgery. So these.
Oh, their
these,
penises get longer and stay longer, though.
Wow.
Right.
So these men, there's this new. So you heard about this? There's a new procedure where men. This is obviously a cosmetic procedure. They're
gotta be
actually
men.
they're lengthening they're lengthening their femur bones to be taller. So like a guy who's like 5'7" is now 5'9.5", and it's like a painful surgery. But I guess it's like costs tens of thousands of dollars. But supposedly, going back to my original thesis, if you're taller, like tall people, you just are more you just have an easier time in society. I mean, it's just really that simple.
God, do you know how? I mean,
Yeah.
how vain you have to be to have a procedure like that. So you're 3 inches taller.
They
or whatever?
interviewed a guy who was like, I think he was like 5'6.5", so he was a little bit under the average height of. I think the average male in the United States, the average height is 5'8". Let's say it's 5'8".
Yeah,
something like that.
He did that surgery, and it was a painful surgery. Your femur is the biggest,
couldn't
strongest bone. Yeah,
Even imagine.
crazy.
No.
Although,
And
Mark, I guess like maybe not necessarily vain, but what if you're like a 5'1" man?
Freak. You were going to say freak. Oh, my God. Wait,
I
no,
was,
I'm sorry.
I was never. You were going to say freak.
I was gonna say freak.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
You know that like you get picked on or something. Like maybe that would be different than being
Platform
vain.
shoes.
Well, your whole life. Your whole
Platform
life.
shoes.
Yeah, at the
Well,
beach.
He's 5'1", but he identifies as an NBA player.
Right.
So
good.
it's actually paid by it's paid through insurance.
Oh my God, that is so weird. But okay, so it's funny that when Teddy talked about that. There's a thing, a Chinese university, North. I am not making this up. I want you to know this. Northwest Minzu University.
Oh, it's in Park Ridge.
Yeah. They
Next
did
to the Pickwick.
Yeah, right by the Pickwick.
they did a study.
Between the tarp and the fill.
Okay, and I think this was like a couple months ago. They came out with this study, and they said, and I'm not making this up, that drinking Coke and Pepsi makes your balls bigger and increases your testosterone level.
Who wants bigger balls?
I have no idea.
I don't believe that.
But drinking Coke. Now here's the only thing I can say is,
You know what it's good for? It's good for cleaning your golf clubs. Like if you dip like a rusty club in Coca-Cola and leave it there, it'll take all the
Or your
rust off.
toilet.
Yeah, toilet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ted sat on his balls yesterday.
I can't.
Oh, your golf balls.
It can't be true. But if it is true, what the fuck is in Coke and Pepsi that would make your balls bigger? And how can you increase your testosterone? Because the whole world,
High fructose corn syrup. We'd all have massive balls.
Listen, they sell everything in the whole world for guys to make their testosterone, right? I mean, you can't turn on a commercial, a
Right.
sports
Yeah.
commercial that
Yeah.
doesn't
Your
have
guy, Frank
Your
Thomas,
buddy,
the
I was
big
gonna say
hurt.
your buddy Frank
Yeah,
Thomas.
what's that stuff called? Nugenics?
Yeah,
Nuge-
Nugenics.
Frank
Yeah.
Thomas, Doug
Why does he sell? Why
Flutie.
does he have a can of Coca-Cola in his hand?
Right. If that was real, they would do that. But now, so as soon as one school comes out with another one thing, another one came out. So Southeast Pinza University just completed a study, and they said Mountain Dew, and guys run out Mountain Dew makes a man's penis 50 to 75% larger and increases the number of orgasms a woman can have by 92%.
I know it worked.
So this is just somebody who has stake in.
That's what I'm saying. This is all done by Coca-Cola Company.
Right.
sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Mountain
Study
Dew is
sponsored by Mountain
like
Dew.
what do we do? We cause acne.
Do the do.
Yeah, we cause acne and we make people run around. What else? Oh, we make people's penises bigger.
Oh yeah,
Let's
we
just-
almost forgot. We also make people.
Oh yeah.
So remember, there was like a cream that's supposed to make your penis big, but wouldn't it make your hands bigger too? Before you put it on your penis. See, that's so. Wouldn't your hands be like Elephant Man hands? Like
Maybe that's why they say
No, you
I don't get- I don't
you wear
get
a
it.
glove.
I don't get it.
No, I love. You know what? I do love that concept. Whenever we bring that up, Teddy says the same thing. Wouldn't it make your hands bigger? And I'm just thinking, yeah. I mean, how would it not?
What if there was 4-minute abs instead of 5-minute abs?
No, man. No, man. No.
Step into my office because you're fucking fucker.
You're so crazy.
See, and Teddy says he doesn't watch movies.
No, he
but
only knows that scene. He has
Right.
no idea what movie it's from.
No. He does. He just watches
What
the
movie is it
same
from,
movie.
Ted?
Something about Mary.
Yeah, he
God.
watches
You
the
got
Oh,
me.
he
You got
gotcha.
Don't ask me stupid shit.
No, he watches the
was
same
a stupid
movies over
question.
and over again. He's only seen 12 movies in his life, but he knows them by heart. Yeah, it's like our buddy Jimmy, right? Jimmy knows for some insane reason when you go golf with him, he's the same. It's the same 10 movies, but it's the different lines. It's all the good movies from the exact same 10.
But you know what movie's buried? I Spit on Your Grave. He doesn't remember anything from that film.
Yes, he does.
Just when he goes to his
But we're
dark
not gonna-
spot.
we're not-
Just
Ted-
when he goes to his sand place.
dark place.
His dark place, he remembers it.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Okay, Mark, you have your thing you want to do, right?
Yeah, I got something I want to talk about.
Okay, so I have decided. So I asked Mark, "What do you want to call it?" And he's like, "Oh." So Mark,
Too much work.
you ready? Ready? I want you to put your mark on it.
I'm going to put my mark on this.
Yep, there you go. That's it. Put your mark on it.
Mark.
Don't put a ring on it. Put your mark on it.
Drag shows, Teddy.
Yeah.
Something you and I are into.
I'd go to a drag show. I'd go to a drag
listen,
show.
I've never been to one.
I'd go to one.
I've
What's
never been
wrong
to
with
one.
them? What's
No-
wrong with
nothing.
them?
Nothing's wrong
Okay,
with them.
nothing.
If
Okay.
I want to see somebody dance like and sing like a girl, couldn't it just
Drag
be a
shows
girl?
are awesome.
Okay.
It's just a form of entertainment. They've been around.
Didn't you see one on South Beach with us?
You had to have.
No.
The bar that has it, and then we walk past. It's called the Palace.
I mean, I've walked past drag shows.
Yeah,
I got
mean, well,
accosted by
you
a
can
guy who
see it from the street, so it's like
when
basically
we were
being
in Key
there.
West,
Stage is exposed to the street. Yeah.
When
okay.
the
Oh, yeah.
family was in Key West, and I think Jack was like 7. Jack was 7 or 8. I love this story. Jack's 7 or 8. We're walking past. First, we walk past a bar. It's a gay bar, and the guy's in there, and he's got no shirt on. He's bartending, and I go, man, I want a job where I don't have to wear a shirt. And Jack looks right up at me. He goes, Dad, that's a gay bar. I'm like, hey man, as long as I don't have to wear a shirt, I don't care. And then we
That's
walk
your job.
past a drag show like 2 days later, and the guy we walk by, and I got little kids. Jack's like 8, okay. Savannah's like 12, okay. He goes, walk past, and this guy, I don't know what he was supposed to be dressed as. He was a very big. He was like a lumberjack type guy dressed like a chick.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, why don't you come in? What's your problem? I go, I don't have a problem, man. I'm kind of drunk. I got little kids, and I don't know, man. I don't want Ron DeSantis. I go. I can see the future, and I don't want Ron DeSantis to like shit all over my kids, So I can't.
There might
do
be
it.
agents inside.
Yeah. There might be secret agents.
I'm going to get
yeah.
arrested because I have children here.
But I mean, I don't care. I'll
So
do it. I'll do
so
whatever.
it's the hottest topic right now, just because politicians are talking about it and they're making shit
Right.
up about what they're all about, right?
Right.
And somehow children got in a mix of drag shows. So as soon as talking about drag shows, because we all know there's nothing wrong with a drag show. It's just a form of
It's just
entertainment.
entertainment,
It's
yeah.
been a part of our culture for a decade since
most
the 20s and 30s.
Most of the BBC, most of British TV in the 60s and 70s was guys dressed like
That's what I was
chicks.
gonna
Monty
say.
Python.
Yeah.
Didn't Benny Hill used to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So,
back
I
in
mean-
the '70s on regular TV. That wasn't like that wasn't like a X-rated movie theater. That was on national TV. I remember watching that when I was a kid.
It is
So, yeah.
really it's just all in fun. There's nothing sexual about it. There's nothing. I mean, I know it's more of a gay thing, seen like part of gay culture more than anything, mostly. But there's nothing like really gay about it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
fun. I mean, they're entertaining.
It's just like
And that's
any
it.
actor that dresses up into
Yeah.
a different.
They're goofing around. It's
Right.
some of it's a lot
Tyler
of,
Perry.
yeah.
Right.
Big Mama's House.
I mean, do you really know the? I mean, I don't know too much about drag shows. I haven't researched it, but I mean, do we really even know the sexual orientation of the people who do the drag shows?
No,
It might
there's
be.
not. It's not specific.
I don't
mean,
know.
most of them are gay men, but it's
Okay.
not exclusive. You don't have to be gay to dress and drag and put on a show and entertain and see.
Matt, I could put on your dress right now, and nobody would know the difference.
I mean, there's lots of drag shows that have
would- you would-
heterosexual men doing like skits, like comic skits,
You know,
and
the negligee you wear to
no,
bed.
listen,
I
I'm
can wear
telling
that
you.
right now.
I'm telling you. I mean, Monty Python, they only had 1 or 2 women on the entire show, and most of it,
They
most
played
of
the
the
women's
female,
roles,
they,
too.
they played the
Yeah.
female roles. And you know what's funny? Nobody gave a shit about it.
Well,
you know what? No,
It wasn't turning all your sons gay.
right.
No one gave
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
yeah, and this is where I'm going. Nobody gave a shit about it when it was like normal, like entertainment, and if you didn't like it, you just walked past it, or you didn't give a shit about it, or you made fun of it because you didn't understand it, or you didn't like it, and you just made fun of it and walked away. But the second the Republican Party, and I'll just throw it out, the Republicans said they're going after our children. Now it's all a big fucking hulu. Oh, now it's a bad thing. It's bad. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't have kids at our drag shows. Oh, what? They're doing these drag shows for kids or with kids. Yeah, so what?
Like
It's
to
different.
recruit the children to become.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're
What?
not. It's just like they're just goofing around, man. It's just like fun. If you don't want to participate, don't participate. But don't tell me that, this is bad and we got to go in and infiltrate these and end it from now on. So is the goal of DeSantis and the Republican Party just to do away with this form of entertainment? Like drag shows are now illegal in this country. You cannot have a drag show. Is that what they want to do?
That's their hope.
What is he into? What is DeSantis into? What does he like to do?
So you
let's
know
find out what the
exactly-
fuck he likes to do and make that and see how he likes it.
I did hear him say something about Trump and his possible arrest, and he said, like, I don't know what it's like to have to pay off
Oh,
a
great.
stripper, for hush money. Like, I don't know about that stuff, but I think that they've taken this too far. But he put that in there, like,
But I-
like
no,
I don't know
Yeah,
about
we
paying
talked
off.
about this a million times. When I go vehemently against something, it's because That's my thing. So when I hear guys say that homosexuality is the worst fucking thing that's ever walked the planet, I know exactly what they're really saying. When Ron DeSantis says guys dressed like chicks are wrong, here's what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing. I wish I could do that. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm saying that he doesn't have that opportunity in his life to do the things that he likes because he decided that he's going to do this. He's going to be a governor. He wants to be president. So now he can't do these things. So now you can't. Because every time people hate things, it's because they like things.
And what's the rally cry or the war cry for the GOP? Don't tread on me. And what are they doing? Fucking treading on everybody. They're telling you you can't fucking do this, you can't do that. And most of it is predicated and based on the most ludicrous shit out there. I mean, they believe anything. And it's ridiculous.
Well,
these politicians should just govern. Just govern. Do your fucking job and don't worry about the drag shows. Don't worry about if a drag show does this to children or that to children, because it doesn't. Let the parents...
Yeah, and it's up to the parents if they want to bring
their... fucking drag shows.
Right.
I mean, but again, this whole thing with the kid in the drag show thing is just a small thing that happened, and it wasn't a bad thing. It was like a school or something, right? Or they were... I don't remember what it was. It was so weird.
No, it was, it was at that place in Miami. So the kid went up on the stage because the parent let him go up there, and then all of a sudden, nobody cared about that stuff, and then all of a sudden it was like, you're turning that kid gay.
Yeah, oh my God. Ugh.
And so that's exactly what the most recent part of all of that.
You know what's great? One of my favorite movies, I swear to God, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, is The Birdcage.
I love that movie.
Nathan Lane and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Love
Nathan
that movie.
Lane is a god.
And what is that movie? What's so funny about it, look at Gene Hackman in the movie. Like the straight and narrow, the most conservative motherfucker in the world, right? And he ends up in the end of the movie and he comes around, everything's great, you know.
Here,
and that's what needs to happen here.
I'll top that. I'll top that right now. Everybody's been talking about the gender reaffirmment and puberty blockers and all that kind of stuff. And you know what I really realize right now? You know what I realize? I don't care. If a parent wants to let their kid do that, let him do it.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's not you. Okay.
Right. And it's certainly not the place of the government to tell them, no, you can't do that.
Right. Listen.
The party that says we want less governing.
Yeah,
is
that's
trying
what
to
I
govern
mean.
everything.
Don't tread on me.
I'm done with. I'm done
but
with.
They're all
of
up in
it.
our business about personal matters that they don't agree with.
I'm literally done with it. If somebody wants to do that, if a parent strongly believes that this is the best thing for their kid, how the fuck would you know what their kid needs and what's best for them? Listen, okay, if it turns out to be a shit show in 10 years, okay, that's something that everybody lives with, but not you. You don't have to live with that. That's not a you thing. Why are you so involved in what everybody else wants? It was the funniest thing I've heard. I'm listening to these books, Tim Dorsey, and he does all these books on Florida. And so it's kind of cool. It's set in the 80s. The books are all written in the 80s, and I'm just there. And the guy goes, this guy's vehemently anti-gay, okay? And so he walks up to this dude, and he goes, oh, man, you don't want any homosexuals. And the guy goes, why? He goes, just think about what they're doing at night. And the guy goes, what? He goes, think about it. Do you want that? He goes, is that what you think about all the time? You just think about what gay people are doing? He goes, why do you think about that all the time? He goes, that's fucking weird, man.
These are simpletons.
Yeah,
but
it was so weird. I never thought about that. He's just like, is that
why does your mind only go to that?
Why are you thinking about what people are doing? Why don't you just think about what you're doing? Yeah, why don't you think about shit you like? Why are you thinking about something that you allegedly don't like?
Well, the funny thing is, it's just weird. I guess the overall picture is that it's just weird that there's such a main topic of conversation in the country where, we're talking about a minuscule 0.000,
yes,
but they're making it sound like an epidemic. And,
exactly.
But I'm saying, like, I don't see anybody talking about, like I said, lowering your taxes, more money in your paycheck,
exactly,
healthcare,
Thank
crime.
You.
I mean,
Thank you.
the
Worry
stuff that
that
politicians, what they're talking about are so ancillary. It just really doesn't affect everyday people,
No.
But they make it sound like it's a national epidemic, and that's the problem, So
they get a small portion of the population getting all worked up about things that are going to happen because they go to a drag show.
It's not a mainstream thing.
Yeah.
It's not mainstream.
Nobody's being forced. You know what? Nobody's being forced to go to a drag. Nobody's being forced to go to a drag show. Okay, I mean,
it's not like you're going to church and all of a sudden it's like
right. It's
drag
probably-
show time.
it's probably tough to find. I mean, depending on what city you live in. I mean, we live in a big city. We
No,
live in
there's a lot in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
And I'll
oh,
tell you
yeah,
what,
sure,
when there is
sure.
a drag show, it's fucking packed.
Yeah.
I believe
Sold
it.
out.
I've never
Yeah,
seen one. I've
great
never
time.
seen advertising for one. I've never, I mean, it sounds like you would have to go really out of your way to find one.
Yeah,
You know,
and I'm figuring in a lot
it's not
of
like an
places,
epidemic, you know?
in a lot of places, especially if you're not in a really big city, they probably wouldn't do it because they'd be afraid of the
Well,
reprisals.
they do, but
from
it's
what
it's
the-
like a speakeasy thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they do them. I mean,
You need a password to get in, kind
right?
of
And
a
you'd
thing.
be surprised who's participating.
yeah. I think Ron DeSantis is gay too, allegedly.
And
Yes.
Tucker Carlson.
Yes, I do. Oh no, there is no doubt about it in my mind. In fact, here I'm going to do something real quick before we get finished with this. You guys know Tucker Carlson went through the January 6th video, right? You heard him all this stuff. Where he
I
went
did,
through it.
yeah.
And he goes,
Yep.
nothing happened.
Right.
Right? So here's what happened. Recently, he's gone through other videos. Like he's just been combing like history and going through other videos and kind of re-explaining all this stuff. And I guess he found a whole ton of videos where Harvey Weinstein was interviewing women for different jobs, for different things. And it turns out that he was not, according to Tucker, Harvey Weinstein was not molesting any of those women. All those women were forcing themselves on him. Yeah. Yeah.
The
And-
drugs made them do that,
yeah,
I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, he's a
And-
good-looking guy, Jackie.
Oh, he is. He's a really good looking guy. And I
Repulsive.
guess he went through. the Zapruder film, of the Kennedy assassination, and he realized now that it was a suicide. Kennedy committed suicide in that car. Yeah, yeah. He
Wow.
slowed it down because we haven't seen it before, and it was Ted Kennedy or JFK literally killed himself
Wow.
right there
Well,
in
at
that
least
car.
it's been solved.
Yeah, and it's done.
now we know.
Yeah, isn't it great? I mean, it's great to have a guy who
What
can
a great
really-
American he
He
is.
is. He's a great American. That's why I just
He'd be a better South American.
he,
Go somewhere else.
I
Just
think-
go.
well,
Leave.
the problem
leave
is
the country.
we hear this new term that we haven't heard in the last. I mean, it's weird how like new terms come up that it never existed before. Like for example, disinformation. I never heard that term ever growing up, but in the last like few years, that seems to be like
Yeah.
there's actually like departments that this is the disinformation department. So we have real information, and then this is disinformation. So the problem is, I think, with the internet in general, you get so much information, and just because somebody sounds sincere or they sound like an authority on something, people tend to believe those people.
Wait,
know?
are you hearing disinformation?
Whether
I think
it's
they're
what-
saying this information too.
disinformation,
No,
disinformation.
Well, here,
yeah.
here, look at the Fox News and the Dominion thing. They spend a whole time saying that Dominion was skewing the vote and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then internally and personally, they're emailing and texting each other like this is bullshit. We know this is bullshit.
Right.
I mean, they're literally listen. We have to start
And trying
looking,
to ruin a company.
Right.
Because to save their own face.
We have to start looking at this stuff as these people are actors. They're not.
Well,
there's
it's
not news.
it's opinion journalism. Like for example,
Oh, yeah. It's
COVID.
not
I mean,
journalism,
So
it's
we
opinion.
we heard this. When this first came out. It said, okay, COVID started in like some animal market in China, and now they say, and then someone said, oh, it was created in a lab, and everyone said, oh no, that's a conspiracy. And now the mainstream opinion is it was created in a lab in China, possibly.
Yeah, but
So-
then there's some stupid
this-
story about raccoon dogs.
yeah, that was raccoon
That was-
dogs. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Rhesus monkeys. I mean, yeah. So.
Even this morning, though, I heard maybe that's wrong and it's just natural.
Always blame the rhesus monkey if you're not sure.
And then have that monkey walk your ring down the aisle.
Poor
That's
bastards.
the one. Yeah, that's patient zero. The monkey who just walked your ring down the
Oh,
aisle
yeah.
at the Kiss
maybe
Chapel.
that's where it started,
That's
yeah,
patient zero.
We
started
figured
in
it out.
Vegas. It started in Vegas.
All you need is a basement.
It's like the
and
movie
a
Outbreak. It's
podcast
like the
to
movie
figure that
Outbreak,
stuff
right?
out.
You got to find the monkey in the tree. That's the one.
Are we saying that COVID started in a casino in Vegas? No. Oh man, that is so. You know what? I'm terrified to even. I'm terrified I even said that because I'm terrified of what I might see on the internet tomorrow. Yeah.
Right, next thing you know.
and because we're heard all over the world, I'm just afraid that I know.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be all over the internet tomorrow?
That was a joke.
Ted
No,
No,
we don't.
you.
We don't know.
losing to Ted.
No, you, because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
you.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
You belong in a zoo. What's that? You look like a monkey, and you smell like
Yeah.
one
Yep.
too. Yay! I just demeaned myself. Yeah, I have problems. All right, so let's put this thing to bed, man. This is man, I love every second of this. Now I want to go see a drag show so bad.
We should.
Yeah, let's just do a Three Idiots drag show.
There's
Elizabeth,
so many field
Elizabeth
trips that everybody's
MCs them
taking.
and stuff like
I
that.
want to see a drag show. Then I want to meet Gene Simmons backstage.
How about
so
a
he could
Gene?
tell
How about
me-
a Kiss
so he could tell
drag
me how-
show?
I
Hey,
don't.
are they
I'm
considered
just
drag? Is Kiss considered a drag?
You mean like in
a-
full makeup and
Kind
outfits?
of like quasi. I mean, they
That's
got the
like
leather. They got the
drag.
leather. I mean, they're kind of like borderline. You know, they're kind of like borderline village people, but they just got the same.
They've got
outfits,
makeup.
you know?
They've
I
got
could see
wigs.
that.
They've got
Ted,
costumes.
we were in
It's a rock and roll drag show.
We were in Miami a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, right?
Yep.
And so we come
For my
home-
wedding.
Yeah, we come home drunk.
Congratulations.
And Steve puts on Steve puts on YouTube, and we start with some song, and then we just let YouTube decide where it goes. And the '80s were mostly men who look like women. I mean, it was right. They were.
It was incredibly
If you look at '80s videos,
eye-opening.
Yeah, look at all the bands. Rat, Poison, all those guys had
No.
long hair.
No. It was like the English invasion.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
no, it was literally.
Oh,
99
Robert Smith from The
Listen,
Cure.
yeah.
always-
yeah, it was like the Cure,
Culture Club.
Duran
Look at Culture Club. Look
But,
at.
but it wasn't
yeah.
even. It wasn't even like
Boy
that
George.
intense because Boy
Yeah.
George he's gay.
Yeah.
Boy George is gay.
I love Boy George.
Saw
I love
saw
Culture Club.
a
love
really
Boy
cool
George.
interview with him, like in some British like they do like extreme camping or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it was really cool. But listen, most of the guys looked a lot more, especially the band members looked a lot more like girls, and a lot of the girls.
one of those bands
looked a
like
lot more
ABC or something we kept
Shoot
singing.
that poison arrow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Love that. I knew, and you know what's weird? I knew every goddamn ABC
I
song.
bet you did.
But
Yeah.
listen. There's no way that any of this is real, and all you have to do is just go back in time and just say, "Hey, man, in the '60s, in the '70s, and '80s, why do we even have straight people? Right? If this is so bad, everybody should be gay? Everybody in the whole world should be, right?
Well, there's just more media. There's internet now that didn't exist, 20, 30 years ago or 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
but
so
we're letting them decide.
Yeah.
We're letting them decide what we hear, and we have to stop that. We have to have an alternative voice in what's being said, and it has to be out there more than just CNN and MSNBC being the opposite of Fox News. It has to be real people saying real things.
Well, like it's funny. It's like the politics. It's the ultimate good cop, bad cop. One's the good cop, one's the bad cop, and they just kind of, they're just doing it for ratings. Half the people, the most dangerous politician out there is the one who truly believes what they say, because most politicians actually don't believe what they say. They just say it.
A motivated politician.
Yeah, but someone who truly believes what they say, those are the ones you got to watch when they really believe in their cause, because the road to hell.
most
is
of the
paved
time
with-
they burn themselves to pieces.
the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, when they're that intense and they really believe it,
Yeah.
and they go full bore.
Yeah.
yeah.
This shit would not be happening if George Carlin was still alive.
Yeah, that was a man ahead of his time.
Oh
so
fuck yeah, dude!
I
Are
love
you
George
kidding me?
Carlin.
Call everybody
like
out.
when Joe Biden says something, he just says it to appease whatever audience he's talking to at the time. He doesn't believe half the stuff he says. He doesn't.
Of course he doesn't.
Yeah, of course he does.
doesn't. All right, so let's put this thing to bed because I said we were gonna, but I did not. Jackie, I'm putting you on the spot. Last thoughts.
I really enjoyed Christina. She was really interesting. It makes me actually want to go there. We keep saying, on
I
a lot
wanna
of
go
these,
there.
people that come on that we want to go visit them and go to the Bigfoot Museum and stuff.
I do want to
But,
see that. I want to see that.
Like I love Vegas, and I think I would go there for sure.
That's actually more attainable
I want
for
to
all
go.
of
I
us to
I
visit
actually want
than
to go to
anything
that
else. 'cause
Voodoo
Everybody
Steakhouse.
would go to
We're gonna
Vegas.
go to
I want to go
Vegas.
to the
Right.
Voodoo
I'm gonna go
Steakhouse. I want to go to the Voodoo Steakhouse.
Yeah.
So you got to see it if you go on their website and you look at the pictures from the Rio Steakhouse on the top of it, the Voodoo Steakhouse. You can see the whole strip. It's incredible. The pictures. I've never been, but it's absolutely cool, man. Yeah, I won't eat steak, but I'll eat something.
So
else.
this time, if we go to Vegas together, Steve and I will not sleep on your floor.
That was so awesome. I told you I won that trip from Danny Bonaducci. And
you guys went with them? I didn't.
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we spent 3 hours in the room.
Yeah.
How disgusting, though, to sleep on a floor of the
Vegas.
So you want
Vegas
something like?
hotel.
Oh, so you actually called a
And I
radio
think we're
talk
at the
show.
Tropicana,
I'm sure the
so-
bed. Hold on. I'm sure the bed is just as disgusting
Actually,
as the floor.
probably
so-
more.
so you were-
The
wait, so
bed-
you were
the
like-
bed's-
you were-
yeah, the floor's cleaner.
You
Yeah.
were like the 10th caller.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
won
I told
whatever,
the
yeah.
story.
Oh, yeah, I think you have one.
don't-
I
love
you.
you.
Don't remember, but yeah. But I told the story. Yeah, but that was, dude. I would absolutely do that. But I'll be honest with you. I would kind of like to visit all the places we've been to so far.
Yeah.
Do I want to put twine on a twine ball? Fuck yes, I do. I absolutely want to add to a twine ball. Would I rather go to Vegas? Fuck yes.
Right.
I'd rather
That's
go
what I'm weighing them. That's
and the Prohibition Museum because you can drink. In fact, all museums should be museums where you drink. I would
yes.
go more.
I would like them so
If the
much
Field
more.
Museum-
Art museum.
Listen, as a
So
teacher,
boring.
if I took my kids, if I took my fourth grade class to Field Museum and I could drink during that, we would have gone once a week.
Right.
I think
Absolutely
Thordor
right.
said he has beer in the penis museum.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
but hold on, but you
Thordor.
gotta drink it out of a
Penis glass.
Catheter?
Yeah, I think you know what. You know what the problem is? I might like that too much. I might like that a lot too much. All right, Teddy, last thoughts.
Wow, it's been a whirlwind of emotions here today.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. I'm just fucking with you. It doesn't mean
okay,
anything.
good.
So yes,
Good.
No, I enjoyed our guest. It was very informative. It's kind of cool to meet somebody who's like one handshake away from a pretty world famous band.
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I mean, I guess they're way more famous than I thought. I just did not
No, they've
think
been
Kiss
around.
was that
Hall
popular.
of Famers.
You know, I forgot to
Don't
ask.
they
Like,
have like people who follow them called like the
Kissers?
Kiss Army. No.
Kiss Army?
Yeah,
you
Kiss
know,
Army.
I forgot how old are they? Have they been around for 50? How long?
She
They've been around
said
since
50 years.
50 years. So they
Gotta
got to
be
be.
60s at least.
She
said
60s,
50
Gene
70s.
Simmons
years.
is in his 70s. Yeah.
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 I mean, if Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones is still alive, then that guy.
That maybe immortality has been reached.
It's
like
already
a
been reached,
skeleton.
yeah. Because he should have been dead like 50. He should have been dead like 20 times over. With all God
That's-
knows what's in his system. So.
Oh man, I think it all just like bounces off each other, and like everything wants to kill him, but they're like they get in the wrong order.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they should. Keith Richards donate his body to science because, like I said, he's probably got the cure to everything in his system because obviously nothing's killed that guy.
That's impossible.
Screw
All right,
that
Mark.
other guy who says immortality.
Mark, last thoughts.
Last thoughts. I don't want to be too political, but I just want to say, if you don't like something and it's typically viewed as harmless entertainment, keep it to yourself. Mind your own business and don't be a drag.
Ooh,
I like
don't be
that.
a drag.
I like that. You know what? And
Don't
yeah,
be a drag.
you know what? I'm gonna
Be a drag queen.
I'm gonna piggyback that. If you don't like something, so what? I don't care. I don't care if you don't like it. You know what? Tell me, here, do this. Let's be positive. Tell me things you do like.
Yeah.
Okay? So tell me things you do like. Tell me things you enjoy. Tell me things that are fun for you. Stop telling me things that you don't like that you don't want to see anymore.
Yeah.
Because why should what you don't want to see affect anyone else on the planet?
And that's certainly not a politician's job to decide either.
No.
It's none of their
No.
business. And anybody who's voting for them, people need to think about that.
Yeah.
Vote for somebody who's going to, write laws and govern, not something that's going to interfere with individuals.
Vote for Ted.
Vote for Ted.
Vote for Ted.
I'm right here.
I know, Ted. We're
never
talking
left.
about you. Yeah, yeah. You know what I feel
Ted's
like.
like, that's me.
I can-
I'm Ted.
His campaign definitely.
I can hear you.
His campaign definitely has to be all virtual. We cannot put him on a stage.
No, dude, are you kidding me? That's the one thing I want to see is Ted. I want to see Ted on a debate stage, right? And I want to see him reach in and he'll be like, Ted, make sure you just drink the water, and then during the commercial breaks, sneak the no, Ted. That's a bottle of Crown.
I like
That's
I like
the
the town.
brown juice.
I want the town hall meeting where they're on the stage in the small group setting, like
Yeah.
you have the town hall in the small town. See, that's what I like.
That guy's a dick. Yeah. All right. Next week we have a good guy, doctor. I think he's a doctor. I want to say Dr. Samuel West from the Museum of Failure, and you guys are going to love him. He is awesome, and the museum is awesome. And Jackie, you said they got something popping up here in Chicago.
Yeah, there was something on the local news.
Yeah.
saying they were doing a pop up.
So I didn't Google it as of yet, but like I'm gonna guess they must have pictures of the Titanic, the Hindenburg, everything that just spectacularly
Oh,
filled
I didn't
throughout
even
history.
think about that.
Yeah.
I think it was like more like Coke 2 and
yeah,
like things
it's a
like
lot
that.
of
but-
products that didn't work,
Yeah.
like old '70s toys and things.
Or
that
like
didn't
the
work, stuff like that.
what's the car that never the Packard back in the 30s when they was competing with Ford, it kind of just fizzled out.
I think it'd be more like the Yugo, like the newer
Yugo,
things.
yeah.
You know what would suck is if we all showed up next week and the actual pop-up failure museum was in your basement here.
Oh yeah,
This- you know
would
what?
stink,
This
'cause
could- listen,
We would
listen.
show up and he's like, "Surprise, you
Yeah.
failed fuckers."
This show could be in the Museum of Failure. I have no idea, man. I couldn't even tell
Find
you.
out next week.
All right, we absolutely will. If he says, "Hey, welcome to the museum,"
No.
Your feature exhibit.
All right, listen. Have fun, everybody. Enjoy. Keep your mind open and have fun. And we will see everybody next week.